Nah, we're good. I mean, the stream will test, chat will test out for us. Hello, chat. We are live now. I also want to make sure like my mic doesn't have like pop sounds because I realize it does when I'm like on cam. Okay. Let's take out the cover. Oh, wait a minute. What the heck? Oh. I had OBS like on your... Okay. Hello, chat. Hello, everyone. So yeah, it's been a while. Wait, has it been a while since we've done the podcast? I think it has. And today...
There's still some like lines on the side. I'm sorry.
Lines on the side? Oh.
Yeah, look
Oh, wait a minute. Yeah. So today we have Cha0tik. As you can see, the start of the stream is already very chaotic. While I perform some additional cropping, maybe Cha0tik can introduce himself.
What's up, guys? My name's Cha0tik. I'm a mobile gaming content creator. Specialize in anime, games, bringing out the weeb and the thick over on my channel. I knew that would make you laugh. And yeah, basically the whole purpose of my channel is to inform people of all the games that are made worldwide that other people would overlook. I took notice that there's like a lot of development talent around the world of games that I'd love to play anyway. And just decided to make a channel based off of that. So here I am.
Cool. Alright, let's get your volume maybe slightly up. I don't know if it's low. Yo, chat saying hi. Hello, chat.
Hello, chat.
Yeah. So yeah, you know, Cha0tik and I, unlike so like to preview on like how we did the other podcast, most of the time it's like we've never spoken before. Like Fen was the first one. The second one we had was with Kadla and Fen. So Kadla and I had spoken before because we did the special stream. So she was invited. Not by me, but you know, but when we chatted already, and then the next one I can't remember. Well, who was it? I was Ad or Lyos, one of them. The order I can't really remember. So most of the time it's like I reach out and then we just never really talk until then. So it's like more of a getting to know each other. But I do feel that you and I have never had that conversation because we kind of know each other through UD.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
I mean, I had been watching you before that.
Oh, cool.
I think the first thing I ever watched of you was you were playing Punishing Gray Raven near Automata's event.
Oh.
And I was like, oh snap, okay. And I was like, oh, he plays Honkai too. So I just kind of like every now and then pop in and see that you're doing. You're always playing something I'm interested in, so.
Cool.
I just kind of like hop in and.
That's good to know. I've never seen MG's face before. Face reveal. Every reveal is a face reveal. Yeah. I face reveal 100 times.
I'm sorry, this is funny. It's kind of ironic that the person's name is Christ and they're like, "Oh, you're so handsome." Jesus Christ! Like,
Christ.
I'm sorry.
Oh my God. Yeah. Oh, actually, I just did one stream on Twitch yesterday where I had Cam on as well, so that was fun. That was really fun. Yeah, but so for your stuff, I think we kind of touched on it a little bit. Like I kind of saw you guys. Yeah, we didn't really have like the best of like first. Wait, no, our first interaction were good, but like
Yeah,
the first time I saw you guys, it was a little like shaky. I was like, I didn't know UD as well. But I'm glad that I reached out, and then like, you know, he was like, oh, Cha0tik and I we're super tight, and then I was like, okay, and then it was from the concert, the Honkai Impact 3 concert was the first time we spoke.
No, we spoke before that. We were in a conversation with UD. Yeah, we were in a conversation with UD and Kadla.
5.2 dev stream. Oh yeah. Oh my God. Again, jumbled up with like dev stream came first, the concert.
Yeah, and the concert was when we kind of already knew each other a little bit, so we just hopped in a conversation and just started talking about the concert. And I
Yeah.
was like, oh, we were all like overly excited, like of the stuff we saw. So it wasn't even like really
Yeah. I mean, that's also a
recording
really
this conversation.
interesting thing, right? About how I think it came up with like, I mean, we've done a few podcasts already, so I think this is the 10th. Wow, 10. Anyway. Oh yeah, so there is like that sense of familiarity, right? Because even though you've never met, we've like seen each other's stuff on YouTube and like streams and stuff. So there's that like little bit of interaction um where you kind of like get a bit of a sense of like who this person is, but it's just kind of really different from an actual like first encounter with someone, you know. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's really interesting getting to know all you guys who like do content, and then like it's a privilege to like be able to watch first and be like, yeah, this person's cool. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It is like,
I'm
yeah,
kind of the same way.
right,
Yeah,
yeah.
because I actually like reach out to. Funny story. The way me and UD met was actually
Hmm.
because he had like 700 to 1,000 subscribers. And I was like, huh, this guy's like freaking talented. What the heck? Why is his channel like? Why doesn't he have subs?
Yeah, sometimes
Um,
that feels that way,
I went
right?
over to yeah. I saw his video. It was a reaction to one. I don't remember which PV for Honkai. And I was like, bruh, please keep this up because you're going to get there. And he just was blown away that I even reached out to him, and we just been friends ever since.
Wow. Wait, were you like the first person to reach out to him, like content creator wise?
I think he did say I was, but he'd have to correct you on that.
Oh, cool. Yeah,
I do this for a lot of people. I just like to reach out to people and like the thing about me is like when I was just starting creating content like like on Twitch and Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
No, I
Facebook,
I
that's
always
interesting.
wanted to.
You don't
Yeah,
hear
I
that
was a Facebook
often.
streamer. Yeah, I was a Facebook streamer. I like always wanted bigger content creators to kind of just like reach out and so we can like do stuff. But I understood how unlikely that was, so I kind of wanted to change that. So I started reaching
Hmm.
out, even though my channel is still small. I'm not big by any means. Um,
It's still
I like
like
reaching
bigger
out to.
than a lot of like, you know, yeah, it's still like you think about. I mean, I understand what that feels like because it's like whatever size you're at, there's always like the 10 millions and 20 millions out there, you know, the 20 million subscribers, and you're like, well, in the grand scheme of things, like we're just a drop in the ocean. But
Yeah.
you know, there's like the people who are like struggling to crawl towards like 1,000 subscribers because like that's the minimum for like monetization. And then to them it's like, oh, 10K, like you know. So there's always that, but
Yeah.
you don't feel it even if you like, no matter what your channel size is, because it's just I feel like it's always that knowing where the ceiling is, quote unquote, where the ceiling is, that you're kind of like, you watch it, you look at it from a different perspective. But sometimes you do get people who are like, nah, that's fairly huge, you know. So you're like, okay. You just have to like remember that as well. Hello guys, hello
Yeah.
everyone in chat.
Hi, chat.
What are we talking about at
Ravish.
the moment? We're just getting to know each other. Most of the time the streams are like that. I might pull a little bit for Klein later. I already got Klein, but we're trying to get Klein to 4 stars. So while we talk, I'm going to be doing the Elysian Realm with Raven, who has just been unlocked. Wait, Mobius, who has
Still
just been
haven't
unlocked.
played the new patch.
Oh, at all?
Horrible person. Yeah, it's been busy, bro. I've been busy.
Yeah, I mean,
That's the best way I can put it. Like I want to play. I'm just gonna be honest. I've had this beta on my computer staring at me for 5.3,
oh,
and Yeah, and was supposed to make a video on it like 3 days ago, and it's just been staring at me, and I just have other stuff that I need to get done before I can do that. I want to play it so bad, but I haven't even caught up with the current events of Honkai. I haven't played the EX mission. I haven't. Now there's more story that I need to do. Like I'm gonna be so behind, bro. I'm gonna be so behind.
Yeah.
And then I have the intention of going back and doing everything over because there's a bunch of events that maybe I didn't understand or I forgot about that people keep bringing to my attention. So with the Steam release, that's like the perfect
Opportunity.
that's like the perfect opportunity for me to just go through and just play it over.
That's the thing with Honkai, right? It's like there's always stuff that you would never really fully understand. Like in my Discord, like I think just yesterday, someone asked me about like the Cha0tik bloodline, and I was like, huh, I only remember bits and pieces of it. And then I was just like, oh, it's actually because it's just that. It's just like bits and pieces throughout the lore, and they never just give you like, here's what the Cha0tik bloodline is. So people have like different ideas of what the same thing is, and I feel like even if you like complete your journey of like, oh, I'm going back to the start and redoing everything, you'll still be confused with some stuff. That's the way Honkai is.
Refreshed my mind a little bit though, because like so fun fact, I started playing this game when APHO 1 was released.
Oh.
I was reached out to by someone from MiHoYo, and they were like, hey, give this a try. I was like, okay. Now, I played the Chinese version of the game first.
Oh.
I didn't know what was going on. I didn't know, it was like,
Yeah.
it wasn't that I just gonna jump in a game and I'm gonna continue playing.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, oh, this is cool, but it's in Chinese. Do they have an English version? and I didn't know they had an English version for like over a year.
Oh.
So, yeah. Then no, it wasn't over a year. It was a couple months. It was a couple months. It released.
Oh, for global. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, they released the global version of APHO, and I was like, oh. They actually aren't that far behind, so let me try this. And I played like the first, I don't remember how many missions, and I was like, I'm hooked on this. This is a big mistake that I made.
I mean, yeah.
Now that I'm playing it now, I'm in love with the game, dude. I'm in love with it. And as much as I want to like sit there and do everything over again, I'm actually like trying to make sure I have the time so I can focus on the story and everything that I could possibly miss. I want to pay attention to everything. I'm like really excited to do it over, to be honest.
Yeah, it's also kind of like recently, like on stream, sometimes we get a lot of people asking like, oh, I'm new to Honkai, like do you have anything to like any tips or anything? And I realize like if we're going to talk about Honkai, it's a lot about there's actually two main aspects to the game. There's gameplay and there's story, and it's so much that you sometimes can't really focus on both at the same time, and I kind of like missed that out. But because initially I remember for myself as well, I was very invested in the story until chapter 5, because at the time we only had until chapter 4. So chapter 5 was like the next patch release kind of a thing, like how we're waiting for chapter 26 and we just got it. So imagine a time when you go into the story page and there's only 4 chapters in there, and that's all you have. And
I was actually around, I do remember when the game first came out, but I didn't like think it was in English. So I saw it in the store. I just didn't know it was like the English version of the game.
Oh.
Yeah, I saw when it first came out, but I didn't play it because I literally thought it was a Chinese game in the English store. It wasn't until MiHoYo reached out to me that I actually played the game, and I was like, oh, that reinforced what I thought. It was in Chinese. I was like, oh, okay. And then here we are. Like, the game was in English the entire time.
What? Wait, I'm kind of curious. Like, what was your quote-unquote main game before Honkai? Or like Honkai isn't
Main
really
game?
even your main game right now,
You're gonna
right?
laugh at me. You're gonna laugh at me. I was a Call of Duty streamer.
Oh, like mobile?
Yeah. No. Like hardcore console Call of Duty.
Cool.
I wanted to be a Call of Duty pro so bad, but I'm ass at the game. Oh,
I mean, you're probably
but
good, but just not good at that level, maybe?
maybe.
I have no
I'm
idea.
great. I'm amazing at Call of Duty Mobile, but that's just because there's bots in there. So yeah, I was a Call of Duty streamer first.
Chaotic on the 360
I
voice chat? Wow.
No, I was the person that was playing I was playing on the PlayStation while everyone else was playing on that 360.
Oh.
So yeah, everyone was like roasting PlayStation back then, and I was like, watch, one day it's gonna be a PlayStation game, and it is.
Wait, do you play with controller?
Mm-hmm.
Huh, interesting. Because like controller has issues of like you're scrolling. You know, like even in Honkai, right? We don't even really use a lot of aiming. Or even in Genshin, maybe. Like with the bow characters, it's so much of a disadvantage to be using like controller versus mouse for aiming. Right? Like, do you have like weird
You
settings?
could say that's great. No, like pros don't. The Call of Duty competitive scene was always on console first. It wasn't until recently that they started doing these things in on PC.
Oh,
Like nobody played COD on PC. Like it was dead for years.
interesting.
And then they started actually supporting PC play. I think it was around the time the new Modern Warfare came out. I don't know if you know these timelines I'm talking about, but it's like
Not really, but go on.
yeah. Yeah, there's I played Call of Duty. I loved Call of Duty. I got burnt out on it. I was like, I want to go back to form, things that I actually enjoy like a lot, just playing games to play games, not so much competitively.
But that's also curious, right? Because usually you know like there's that mobile, I mean like console gamers or PC gamers don't think mobile gamers are actual gamers. So it's like you who came from like console would pick up, you know, like how did you like go about like deciding to pick up mobile as your next platform?
It was an accident. I'm not sure if you're familiar with Android development, like Android like ROM development and stuff, but there's this big forum for like modifying software on Android devices, and it's called XDA Developers, and I was like heavy into that. So around the time when I started helping people modify some of this stuff, I started like testing games on it too. The performance of the device was important too. So I was like, okay, the best way to test anything on anything is put a game on it. So I played Xenonia. I'm not sure if you know.
Wait, that sounds familiar. I think I've played it.
Yeah, they have like 5 of them. It was like the RPG for like back in the day.
Oh yeah, okay. I think I've played at least one of them.
Yeah, and I've played every single one of those. I played Xenonia 1 through. Hold on, I have the whole list actually on my computer. Give me like a quick second.
So Xenonia was like the first mobile that got you into mobile?
And then I stopped for a while because this is when around the time like the My Touch and stuff was like the big phones of those times.
Does anyone play
Cabal? I played Cabal back in the day actually.
Is it PC?
Yeah.
Okay.
They have a mobile version of Cabal now too.
Oh.
But yeah.
Yeah, you're saying.
I played Xenonia. That was like my thing. And when that game basically died, I went back to my PC games. There's 5 of them. And after getting off of those PC games, that's when the MiHoYo team contacted me.
Okay.
And I was like, I was like, okay. I was a small channel, less than 1,000 subs. I have no idea why they reached out to me. I
Cool.
had no idea. But it gave me a good first impression of the company because I was like, yo, they're reaching out to me. Okay, cool.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I tried out the APHO patch.
Mm-hmm.
It was all in Chinese. I was like, this is so lit. I wish it was in English because playing all the different characters with the different animations
Oh
and
yeah.
the Herishers and like I was just the Herisher, the Void. I was so captivated by her. Like I was like, I need to know what's going on in this story. And
Oh, so Honkai is
that,
the kind of the game that pulled you back in.
mm-hmm. And
Interesting.
I waited until it wasn't until APHO came out in English that I actually like dove in, and I played like the entirety of APHO, which I don't. This is why people clown me about APHO stuff because it was so long ago that I don't remember some of the fine details of it. So, so I stopped playing games entirely for a while. Then I started getting back into streaming again. I was like, huh, what happened to that game? I went back and I was like, I want to play this in its entirety again. On stream a year before Genshin, no, 3 months before Genshin came out, I played from beginning to end, all live on Twitch. And I was like, this story just got so much better for me. I want to start making content on this game. And that's when the reaction started coming and all that stuff. And it was all because they were making this open world game Genshin. I didn't know anything about Genshin, but I wanted to catch up on Honkai because I didn't know that the stories weren't like super tied together.
Oh,
So,
okay.
yeah, so here we are. I played through the entire story of Honkai. I started doing Genshin content, and then I started mixing my Genshin content with Honkai content. And yeah, now I honestly feel so much more fulfillment playing Honkai. I still play Genshin a lot, but I mean like Honkai is like the game, dude.
Yeah. Yeah, I kind of feel like it's interesting how I haven't. I mean, I did have this thought initially when I first started playing Honkai, like, it'd be interesting to see, like, when games start catching up. You know, like, a whole generation of, like, Honkai-ish games. But it seems like Honkai is still, in some aspect, like, quite far ahead of most games. In terms of, like, how smooth it plays, and I don't know, there's just that something that it's hard to match right now. And I'm not saying because, like, it's my main game. I do play other games, but it's just... I'm still waiting for that, you know? Like, I know, like, some people thought, like, oh, PGR is gonna be, like, sort of like a direct competitor. But it's sort of more of is, like, it's just the same genre of games. Like, you know, like there's Street Fighter and there's Tekken, you know? But they're not necessarily,
Right.
like, the same game. And I feel like most people just can't really see a difference in it, but that's exactly how I see it, like, from the first time I started playing. Like, I picked up PGR on the Chinese server. Whoa. But even then, it's like, it still doesn't yet feel on the same level. I can't quite put my finger on it, but...
I can. After how many games I've played, I can.
Okay.
There's Honkai came out around 2017 for the global market. I don't remember the dates for every other region. Around that time, everything that these games are doing today, they were already doing. Graphically, yes, it's improved. They're doing a lot of crazier things in Honkai with the Herishers and all this stuff. But everything that we're seeing, these action RPGs on mobile, that they're all these games that are doing the same thing, Honkai's been doing it for years. So it's like we've already played a lot of these games already, and the only thing that they can do really differently is the story. So
Interesting.
here, everything that I've played over the years, it's very easy to say, huh, Honkai did this already.
That is true.
Yeah, it's really, really hard to find a game like the Anomaly. EGR is an anomaly because of the orb system makes that
Yeah.
gameplay so much different. Um, but all of these other games, 2018 global. Okay, my bad. It was Taiwan. Taiwan was 2017. Yeah. um, we just played all of this already, and it just feels like we're playing a new story with the same mechanics. So
That is true.
that's mainly what it is.
I mean,
So
there
PGR,
is.
that
Yeah. Go ahead.
PGR being that anomaly, it's like we're still searching for other games that are doing something different, and we just haven't found it yet. Roguelite started being introduced, but once again, Honkai's been doing that for a while. It's hard to find something that Honkai just hasn't done. So
Yeah.
that's why everything just feels, stale when you play everything else.
That is true. I mean, so one thing that really attracted me to Honkai, because I had also played a good number of mobile games before Honkai. I think I said this to chat multiple times, so they might already know. But like the first, I think officially, maybe I've played like the random like no story throwaway games. Like like those Stickman version. I don't remember what they're called. But like those are really like, a friend just bought like an iPhone or like an iPod at or something.
Exactly where you're going with
Yeah,
this.
and then it's like, oh, he's the only kid who has it because like none of us have like that kind of money to buy it. So like he's like, oh, I got this really cool stuff. You want to play it? And then so that's like, quote unquote, like the first mobile games, but it's not really like a mobile game, right? It's just like at the stage of when people didn't even know it could make that much money, and then you get to like, I think the first no, I've never played Clash of Clans. The first mobile game I've ever played.
Clash of Clans.
Clash of Clans. Honestly, we can get there, but like, I see how you okay, like even for Honkai, it's a bit of like player versus player in the sense of like people would think like, oh, you're pay to win. You get this score because you have triple S something and I don't have it. Kind of that, right? But it's like, honestly, the difference between like the ranks in Honkai is still very, very slight compared to like the skill in the player. So that's one of the things that makes me appreciate Honkai. But for other games, it's very obvious. It's like, it's literally who has more money wins. And I feel like Clash of Clans is, don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to like bash the game. I haven't played it in its entirety to understand it to that point, but I kind of feel like Clash of Clans is a kind of like, oh, you got the money to like instant build this or like instant recover or buy shields, and then like like the moment you have the money to spam on like instant recovery, like there's no way anyone who's like F2P can beat you already, and it's like, or instant build. It's like, oh, I'm gonna wait like 48 hours for this command center to build, but that guy can do it in like 2 seconds. It's like,
I'm gonna mention something. So it's like a dynamic between Western games and foreign games all over again. Western and foreign.
Okay.
Western and Eastern games all over again. So there's the Western games literally just see a monetary cash grab, and that's what it feels like to me. Like, this is my opinion, of course. Not bashing the game, different audiences entirely. But like whenever I play a Western game, it always feels like you need to spend money to progress in order to like really get that fulfillment and be a part of the leaderboard in a really efficient way. Whereas the Eastern games, yes, there is like gacha and stuff like that, but you don't need them. Like you don't need gacha to play the game and enjoy the story. And maybe in like super in-game content you need like triple S units, but I don't know anybody that's really going for the leaderboards like that. They're just playing to have fun. So I don't know a single person, unless you're one of the people in I know you're a spender.
Yeah.
I know you're a spender. You're actually the only real spender that I know in Honkai.
Ooh.
I don't even know if it does UD spend?
His is like community funded, I would say, if there's even
That's still kind of spending. That still counts. So I guess U and UD are like the spenders that I know. But everyone else that I've introduced to the game, they love the story. They play a little bit of, they just want to hop in, kill some stuff, and get off. They just enjoy that. So I don't really know many spenders for this game. People can just enjoy this. While
On the
Western games, you really
contrary,
can't do that.
on the contrary, I know a lot of them. But yeah, go on. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Jeez.
I mean,
I didn't say they didn't exist. I'm saying I don't know any.
yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
like for me, because I kind of started. So, yeah. But mine might go on for a bit. You want to finish your point on like the difference between like Western and Eastern?
Anyway, like all I'm saying is it just feels like there's a dynamic between the two. That's why I don't play Western games, because it always feels like, hey, give us money. That is how we're going to keep on creating content for you, but it's not going to be anything that you can really do without spending more money. So I just kind of fell off of that, and that's what my portrayal of mobile games were until I started playing the Honkais, the Genshins, the Punishing Gray Raven, like those are the games. Arknights, I had a bad impression of that until I played it again. I still don't like the chibis in that game, but it's the gameplay in that game is just so satisfying. These games are so good, so good. Spending in Genshin is more expensive, but you don't have to spend a dime. That's the thing. I
Yeah.
can play through the entire game with the base units. Amber is as weak as she is. I can play with Amber, Traveler. Who else do you get at the very beginning?
Kaya, Lisa.
Kaya and Lisa. I can play with all of them and play through all the story content, complete all the side missions, and even the what is not the Elysian realm? That's not what it's called.
Spiral Abyss.
Spiral Abyss. I haven't done that since like the launch of the game.
Ooh.
But I can do that and still keep up. So you're replying to someone? Still, I was just making a point. Like it's a completely different dynamic between both, and that's why I rather play all these Asian games than these Western games. They're so much better. They're so much better.
I feel that's interesting, because I do feel that there are, I mean, I think like you're the perfect person to talk about this, because like you're not like solely Honkai, and then I'm also like I would say a bit of a rich history with mobile games. So like from I mean, like we were on the topic of like how it's player versus player in terms of like spending versus spending, because a lot of people always think like pay to win, but like the word pay to win, I feel comes from the fact that people feel the game itself, like the PvE content, is too difficult for them, and you're paying to beat that. But I always feel like it's not what people think it is. You're basically just competing with someone else to see who pays more. You know what I mean? It's like there's for games, okay, for Honkai there's a cap, right? Like even Genshin there's a cap, however high that is, but there's like C6 R5, you're done. Even if you spend more, you're not getting more out of it. And for Honkai is like triple S, full gear, you're not getting anything more than that. And I get your point of like Western games is like there's no cap. It's just like if you spend 1k, I spend 1.5k to beat you, and then you're gonna spend 2k to beat me, and then and there's no cap, because there's always like, and the way the game is built from a monetary standpoint, from like the financially from the developer standpoint, that they're geniuses. But
yeah,
I feel like it's also what gives the mobile game industry like a really bad name of like, oh, it's so predatory. But people don't understand that it's really just, and forgive me for saying this, some of you guys it might affect you, but like sometimes it's just an ego versus ego thing. It's like you can't let go of your ego. Yeah, so you're like, I gotta beat this guy, and then I'm just gonna spend more without thinking, and that's where it comes about. You know, it's the way it's built.
I'm not gonna say the game's name, man, because I don't want to give this company like any publicity at all. But there's a game that is leeching off of a community of players that love this franchise, and bro, it's literally just a, hey, build a base,
I know
You
which
need-
game it is. I'm not gonna
Yup.
name it either, but
Yup.
oh
Yup.
my god. You know,
Oh, it
I was
pisses
gonna
me
go
off
there.
so much.
I was gonna go there, but in a different okay. So, oh my god. This is
Yeah,
oh
it
my
pisses
god.
me off so much because it for years this has been this what people view because it's such a big name. This is how people view mobile games.
Ooh, am I lagging?
This is
Okay, we're good.
how I viewed mobile games for a long time. So I'm lagging a little bit. I don't know how.
Okay, you're back.
But okay, cool. Yeah, this is how I viewed mobile games. So with this game being such a popular game, no, it's not Fate.
It's
That
not
is an
Fate.
Asian game.
See, we know that we are talking about the same game. I know what Cha0tik is
Yeah.
talking about. I don't think
It
you
is
guys
a,
can
it
guess.
is it is a Western game with a Eastern franchise. I'm gonna get that's the only hint.
I
that,
know exactly
yeah.
which game. Like,
That's all I'm saying. I'm not giving you guys the name, but this game is literally banking on all the people that's loved this franchise for years and have followed it since they were kids. And with the finally they released their console version of this game, and another company decided, hey, can we use this IP and make a mobile? Not gotcha. What would you consider that as?
okay, so they
cuss?
okay,
Can I
so
cuss?
I disagree with the categorization of these games a lot. If you go to the App Store, they're categorized under strategy. And it's like, God, there's no strategy with this. Like, you
Can I cuss?
oh my God. Yeah, sure. You
Can I
can.
cuss?
Of course, no
Okay.
problem.
It's just a dick battling contest. Who has the larger dick? That's all it is.
Yeah, exactly.
That's all it is. Who spends more money and can get this done much faster? Like that's all it is.
Oh,
And it
you're
pisses me
lagging.
off.
The devs are coming in and sabotaging your connection. You're like, who's talking about my game?
No, stop him! Stop him! Stop him! No, it's not Pokemon.
No,
it's
no,
not
no,
Pokemon.
it's not Pokemon.
I gave you a good hint, a very good hint. That's as far as I'm going.
Oh my God. Oh.
The funny is, I don't think anyone's gonna get it. I don't think anyone's gonna get it because the game is that far
Wait a minute. Wait.
to the scam.
Do you want to like reconnect the call? Maybe that will work. Hang on.
Yeah, hold on.
All right. We are facing lag issues. No, it's not lag. I know exactly which game he's talking. Cha0tik auto tune.
Is it now?
Yeah, you're back. Okay.
Am I good?
Yeah, I think you're good.
Okay,
All right.
cool.
Welcome back.
Okay. This is a base building.
It's a
game.
base building game. I
That's
know.
all
I
I can
know which
say.
game it is already. The moment he said it, I was like, dude, I wasn't even thinking of that game, but the moment you say it, it came to mind. But yeah, so mobile games also has something like latching on to existing IPs, and that is something that really kind of disappointed me in many ways.
I'm actually checking to see if it's still in the App Store right now. Yep, it is. Oh my god.
So there is and I'm not even gonna censor the name because this game just disappointed me so much. It's not the same
The
game.
one that I'm talking about?
No, another game.
Oh.
So I'm a huge fan of Dynasty Warriors and like Samurai Warriors. I haven't played any of their like games in a long time, but I've always been a huge fan.
They did the same thing with Dynasty Warriors. Don't tell me they did the same thing with Dynasty Warriors.
There is a game called Dynasty Warriors Unleashed, and let's just say I stopped playing after a short amount of time. So
if you're willing to say names, then I'll just go ahead and tell people it's Final Fantasy 15: A New Empire. That game is so trash. It's so trash. They bait you at the very beginning. Hey, you can build bases, and
That was the
it is
game that was
so
on my
trash.
But yeah, so the thing about that, right? It's like and like I thought of like the games latching onto existing IPs to just like get people's money because of I mean honestly I understand it to an extent because I was very excited when I saw the announcement for like Dynasty Warriors, and it's so disappointing because there was that era of like Dungeon Hunter copy pasta. There's this game called Dungeon Hunter or something like that, which is one of like the OG mobile games. Like the first few mobile games that was
Diablo
actually
kind of style game.
yeah, it was one of the first few mobile games that actually like was impressive to an extent. Of like that showed like the mobile platform could do something. What is wrong with this husk thing? Why is it regenerating HP like that?
I'm watching you do this.
What
I'm
is-
like, man.
What was that? That was a bug for sure. What? It's now fully regenerated. What? Chat, you're seeing this, right? What the heck is going on here? Okay, let's
This
restart.
is not supposed to happen.
It's not supposed to happen. So what goes on is that they will regenerate that HP bar, this blue and like green HP bar on the background, in the background. So this guy's like switching in and out, which usually doesn't happen. You have to deplete that bar, and then he's gonna it's gonna reveal the seed, and then you destroy the seed. If you don't destroy the
just
seed
like
in time.
Okay.
Yeah, if you don't destroy the seed in time,
Imaginary.
then the HP comes back up. But look at that, the HP is like coming back in and out. It is so weird. Okay,
It's
well
also
we're done with it.
Imaginary type. Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so Dungeon Hunter was like the first game that kind of was like, oh, mobile is going somewhere because the graphics were good. And, you know, there was at least a bit of gameplay here and there. The only issue is that it kind of is very dull in the sense of like gameplay is the controls are not very interactive because it's the typical one attack button and no dodge, no jump, but one attack button, one directional button, and 4 skills. So like you just tap the skill and then it goes on cooldown. You tap the skill and it goes on cooldown. So if you notice, like a lot of mobile games use that as a base and they just reskinned it all over the place. So it's like, oh, here's Dynasty Warriors, but it's basically the exact, you're playing Dungeon Hunter, but we're just reskinning it to like Dynasty Warriors characters. And it's so stale because every character is the same thing. So that was one of the main reasons I stuck with Honkai as well, because Honkai's like interactive, you know, control system is really like very new for the mobile, at least at the time, was very new for like mobile. And, you know, the way they play around how to control the characters of like hold the button or like, you know, do an evasion first and then you have, so there's like all these different mechanics that you really don't see anywhere else. And then like the ulties are really like full on ulties. Like you really feel it. So there's that, right? And so like when it really like I kind of find that a lot of games fail to build their own brand. I feel like MiHoYo has been really successful, maybe, you know, with the brand of like Honkai Impact, to the point where I'm like, you know, they really don't need collabs. Like they did the collab because they really just were fans of Evangelion, and then, you know,
Well,
it's
isn't the game based like kind of like the inspiration was Evangelion?
Yeah.
Like that don't make sense.
yeah. So they were like really huge fans of it, so they tried to get the collab and they got it. But you know, like to boost the game's popularity, they really don't need that. And so I feel like, yeah, it really is, it really is, I don't know like how many other games were more advanced than the quote-unquote Dungeon Hunter copy pasta before Honkai. But Honkai was like really the first one that got me back into like action on mobile, because some of the other games were already doing fine. The quote-unquote like strategy, like I was playing Brave Frontier. It wasn't the best, but it wasn't bad. You know, it was like fair enough, kind of like it was good enough.
I'm looking for the names of these games because there are some that did a little bit of something before Honkai, but they were single player games.
Oh,
They weren't like, this is before the hey, let's all connect to a server and you know, before all of that. There was games by Square Enix. What is that game called? There was one in particular that I played for like years, and it was like the first one Actually, something chaos, dude. What is it called?
Oh, I think I
Um,
know what game, but I don't remember the exact name.
yeah, I bought it when it first came out. I don't know if it's free now, but back then it didn't. It made sense to buy games at like $9, $10 because this was a full
You're
story.
you're
Like
kind of still lagging, but okay, go on. Chaos. Wait, is it? Wait. Chaos Rings?
yeah, Chaos Rings.
Yeah.
Chaos Rings. That game was fire, bro.
Damn, I wanted to buy it.
It's $20. $20. Um, man, this game blew me away, man. Like, I'm not losing connections. What's happening?
You're like auto tune. Oh my god! If you like unmute this stream and hear yourself, you're like auto tune chaotic.
Can I go? Can I sound like T-Pain for a little bit?
Ladies and gentlemen, we
I
have
do sound
auto
like
tune
T-Pain.
chaotic.
I do sound like T-Pain. Oh man. Hey, oh no.
Yeah.
Speak.
I mean, like, I feel like Honkai is really the first game that kind of was able to embody what mobile can actually do with the action genre, which is why like it's still able to, like, you hear a lot of players who are like, oh, I haven't played Honkai in a while, but when they come back, it's still exciting for them, right? It's like probably they just are in the category of players who burn out faster, but it still captivates them after a while. And chances are these people go, like, stop playing Honkai, they play other games, and they're like, yeah, still can't really find one at that level, I feel, is probably what they go through with it. So, yeah, it's really interesting how, it's just like, how do I put it? I find it's really interesting to be able to talk to someone who is also quite experienced with dealing with like a range of mobile games, because I feel like we'll have very different perspectives from most people. Like how people had, you remember the quote-unquote resin problem? That was really funny. That was like the clear.
It's not even a problem. Like that. The thing is, it's introducing something that was never an issue to the normal player base,
right?
Brand new player base, and they're just like, huh, we don't like this. We want to play more. But it's like the game was designed this way. Like this is how it was intended to be.
That was really funny.
Yeah, and I tried to be on the defending side of it, and I eventually gave up, man, because it's the same type of argument as, hey, all these games are clones of the other game, even though they're different games.
Yeah.
Like.
Yeah, like the issue people have with like PGR and Honkai of like, oh, it's just it really kind of it really, like, sometimes I tune into like I mean, naturally you would expect a lot of Honkai players who stream who would have picked up like PGR. And it kind of like, it kind of hurts my soul when I log in and people are like, oh, how are you finding PGR? And they're streaming PGR at the time. And they're like, oh, it's a Honkai clone. I'm like, dude, really? Like, I don't have, like, I really can't agree with that. But the fact that like a Honkai player would think so, kind of disturbs me of like, well, you can't just, it's very like stereotypical to just throw it in like that one category of like, oh, it's just a Honkai clone.
Like I will never forget. There was a content. He doesn't make any content anymore. I don't even remember his freaking name. He was on Twitch, and he had this huge rant around the time that PGR was announced to go to global.
Oh.
And yeah, and I was just watching because I was just looking for people that were in the Honkai community, just so I can watch some content, right?
Mm-hmm.
And no, it's not Sean B. He still makes content. He just doesn't make PGR content anymore. But yeah, this guy was on Twitch, and he just went on this rant. All these games, they're copying Honkai because they don't have any originality. And I'm just like, what? Have you like? I literally responded, "Have you played PGR?" And he's like, "No, but I've watched other people." And I was like, "You can watch and tell that it's different."
Yeah,
And he's
honestly,
like, "How?"
yes.
And I'm like, "I can describe the orb system for you." And he's like, it's just the 3 buttons just formed into orb." I'm like, "No, it's not. You really need to play this game before you talk about it." And he just banned me, and and he just wanted to rant about the game. He did not like that there was another action RPG coming out on the mobile platform. Because all that exists apparently is Honkai Impact.
I find it really hard to agree with that. Like, as much as I like Honkai and as much as I'm not quitting anytime soon, I do think it's very healthy to have multiple games in the same genre, just so you have some variety of like, oh, this game's doing something really cool with that, you know, like, you don't necessarily have to play it, but it's like you get cool concepts out of it. Yeah, and I don't understand this like mentality of like you know, it's hard to put my finger on it. Of like, it's not even gatekeeping, but it kind of is gatekeeping.
I don't get it either. It's not gatekeeping. It's rejecting anything that's similar to the one thing that you like. So if you like Pokemon cards and then Yu-Gi-Oh comes out, oh my God, there's someone copying Pokemon. What?
Wait. There's the prime example for that. Digimon and Pokemon.
Yeah, like it's literally just rejecting anything that's similar. So if I'm not sure if you cared about any of this, but back in the day when Pokemon first started introducing Pokemon cards, and then Digimon cards came out at the same time, and everyone got pissed off because, well, Digimon's just a clone of Pokemon.
Ooh.
No, it's not. Yeah, like, have you watched it? Have you played it? No, you obviously haven't. You just don't like something that's similar. It's not gatekeeping. It's the rejection of any kind of variety.
No, but it's like if you reject it, you're just not touching it, right? But they're like all out attacking like something else. Like I've heard so many people say like, "Oh, PGR is like a Honkai clone. It's just a Honkai clone." I'm like, it's so. I don't really understand like why people would just, and these are people who have played PGR. That's the problem. Yeah, so it's like
that's what makes it worse,
right? Yeah, it's like you can't even tell the difference, because I play this game called Crusader's Quest, which is it's basically a side scroller, and the units are always walking, but you have to have
idle
to chain like 3 blocks, and then they'll use skills. So like if you use 1 block, they'll use like a weaker version of their attack, and then they'll just keep auto attacking if you don't click on any blocks.
Looks interesting.
Yeah, and so guys, I completed the gambit, by the way. Anyway, so like they'll just keep auto attacking if you don't hit on any blocks. And then they'll have like SP. So like once you're full SP, they'll spawn like a special block. So it's like their ultimate. And then they'll also have their passive abilities. So it's like use a single chain after 3 chain. Or like if this character uses a 3 chain, then, or like if an ally, because you can have 3 characters in the same team. So like if an ally uses a 3 chain, the other character will like react with like automatically use a skill. So it's really like, I always say like PGR is kind of combining Crusader's Quest and Honkai Impact in the same game for me. Because it's basically that. You know, maybe I'll do like a Crusader's Quest stream sometimes, guys, because I always talk about it, but nobody has seen me play it. You guys might not have even seen that game. Yeah, it's really.
I'd like to see you try that.
I like that game quite a bit. It was after Brave Frontier. That was the next game I picked up.
Are you sure it's not an idle? Is it considered an idle game?
Idle game?
Okay, idols are like the games where you can basically auto them. And
idle game. The word that came to my mind was like IDOL. I was like, what? K-pop idol?
Okay.
Like no, it's not an idle game. I like the game so much because it didn't have auto, like not auto apocalypse, but auto attack. Okay, I mean auto farming, which is also one of the things that made me like Honkai, because you know also like we touched on like how for a long time the mobile gaming scene was just mobile games trying to make use of like popular IPs to boost the popularity of their own game. And so, like the game is just trash. But, like, hey, we have like this super famous IP, so come play our game. So, yeah, then there's also that, like, every mobile game is an idle game. Like every game. Okay, the worst experience for me, I think, was Lineage 2. Because I hadn't played an MMO for like a long time, and Lineage was like, it's actually really popular in Japan, but not the mobile version. So I was like, wait, what?
Good reason.
Yeah. So it was like prior to the mobile version, it was already like popular in Japan anyway. So I was like, okay, I have friends who play this, and they talk about it sometimes. So like, mobile version comes out. Okay, I want to try it out. And then it's just, I play it, I'm like, it's an MMO, but it does everything for you. The MMO is like, the auto is like so smart, it talks to the NPC, it chooses, it's like, what? You choose the like dialogue options for me, you run to the next NPC for me, it's like, what, am I playing a game, or am I just like turning my phone into like a farming machine? I
had this entire, like, I went on a huge rant about this actually. I was like, what's the point in making a game that plays itself? Like, it makes no sense. Who turns on their phone? And I got like huge backlash for this actually. I was like, who turns on their phone and says, I'm gonna have the entire game play itself, and like that's my fulfillment because I'm getting my level ups and I can play the in-game content. And I'm like, no, you're gonna watch your character play the in-game content. You're not playing anything. People got so mad about that because it's literally like, when you think back on it, it's like now you're not even playing a game. You're watching TV. Like,
kinda,
you're literally watching TV.
But it's
and
also,
for me, it's that progression. It's that progression. You yourself leveled up your characters and defeated whatever content on your own, and that fulfillment comes from the completion of said content. When you allow the game to do everything itself, you're taking away from that fulfillment, and that also not only takes away from the fulfillment, it kills its own game because you're gonna play it for a while and you're gonna delete it.
I mean, I agree with that, but I also don't completely disagree with auto. Okay, auto, like automatic features. Okay, guys, not auto apocalypse.
Farming is fine.
Yeah.
Auto farming is fine. Auto
apocalypse is not. I mean,
is
no,
auto
like
collection is fine. Auto play is bad.
Yeah. Like, you can't have it play the bulk of the gameplay for you. You gotta be able to enjoy the game. And so there are games, I think like in Lineage, there is a point where you can like raid with friends and stuff, but it's just so far away that I never saw it. I have friends who played to that extent. I'm like, okay, but it's just like, it kills the game like right off the bat for me, because I'm like, how long do I have to leave this automatically farming and playing the game by itself? If there's a story, I don't know, because it's talking to the NPCs, it's choosing the dialogue options for me, it's giving the NPCs like, hey, give me like 5 lumber, and it just gives the I'm like, do I even have to manage my inventory? Like, what is this? It can even like, oh, you're full when farming for like the quest item, so you can throw away like the non-quest item to pick up the quest. Oh, why do I even play the game? What?
I didn't know it did that. Like, what? Like, what?
I'm like, huh, what? Okay. Who's winning the game now?
What's the point? Yeah, like, what's the point?
Oh my god. But I do play Counterside, and Counterside does have auto farming, but it's like, you mostly wouldn't use it because some of the objectives require you, the player, to actually like, if the auto farming does it, it screws it up. So you have to do it like by yourself. But it's useful for like, if you have to farm the stage over and over, and you're like, yeah, I don't really want to do that, so I can leave it there to do it. But there's still a lot of gameplay that you do by yourself, because Counterside has PvP. So Counterside, how it works is you like have a bunch of, you have like, how many, I think it's 10? Up to 10 characters, and then you have ships. So the ships are not P2W, you just gain them through the story, and then you can build them, and then they'll like provide you with like a ship has 2 skills, and it also like has passive abilities for your whole party. So like you're just deploying characters, and initially I thought like it was quote unquote a waifu game because it does have a lot of very sexy costumes in it. But
I'm all about that.
Well, you just missed summer. Oh my god, you should go look up YouTube for the summer skins. You would probably love it. But
Are you serious?
Yeah. There goes Cha0tik now. Counterside summer.
Summer.
But yeah, so it gives the game that bad impression, right? So like I asked people, like I asked in like different Discord servers. Some people were like,
"Oh, let's go! This is the plot I'm looking for." This is the real plot.
All right, guys. Cha0tik is going to quit Honkai Impact and become a full-time counterside player.
Counterside, here we come. Screw moving to
thickens.
California. I'm spending all my money on these skins I'm playing.
The plot thickens. But yeah. So like, it has a lot of like the that fan service ish side of things. But I was like, okay, I'll just give it a shot because honestly, the gameplay that I saw looked pretty interesting. At least the graphics look good. So I was like, okay, let me go try it. And I played it for a bit, and there's PvP, and the PvP is actually kind of interesting because your objective is like to destroy the enemy ship, but there's like there's like defenders, there's strikers, there's mechs, there's like flying units, and there's like units that will run past the defenders. So like you'll have someone with shields in front. There's units that will specifically like try to run past them to go like assassinate the ship. So there's like strategy on like, oh, if you brought the wrong person, if you don't have the ability to counter that, you're like basically screwed against this player. You have to like change up your strategy. And then there's costs for each character. So it's not like you pull an OP character and it'll forever carry you, because like you can store up to 10 cost, and some characters go up to like 6 cost. So the moment you deploy them, you're like, you can't deploy like 2 6 cost characters, right? Because like you can't go past 10 fully stocked. So you deploy a 6 cost. So you have 4 costs. You have to recover 2 more costs before you can have like 2 6 cost characters on game. I know it doesn't really make sense, but I think you would kind of get it. So
I get it. It's just like that's kind of interesting.
And there's like balancing because they will have weekly bans on PvP. So if a character is like ban 1, they will add 1 cost to it. So a 6 cost becomes a 7 cost. So you're like, yeah, you can still use this character, but is it going to be worth that extra 1 cost? Because that will prevent you from deploying someone else earlier, and you'll have to change up your strategy again.
That just said exactly what I was about to ask you. Is it like the Arknight system?
No, it's not like TD. It's kind of like you're on 2 ends of the map, and then you're deploying characters to like go battle it out against each other. And they have skills and ultimates. And then there's also like the quote-unquote soldier meta, where they don't have ultimates, but they have like more OP like passive abilities to like try to like shred people at the start of things. So you build on like their attack speed, so they can like, they get like, with every shot you get more damage kind of a thing. So I was like, wow, from the reputation that it got of like being, it's kind of like Honkai, right? Because even UD at the start thought Honkai was waifu simulator. And then like when you play it, you're like, there's actually something in the game. You just you know what I mean? Besides this thick plot.
Yeah, we all appreciate thick plot, but there does have to be something else there. It can't just be, hey, sexy waifu, yeah, let's spend some money and then we're done.
Yeah.
Like it has to be for me, Honkai is the story. Like I'm a story player, and that like I've been thrown into tears because of that. And then there's games like PGR where it's more gameplay centric for me. So yeah, so Counterside sounds like it's definitely a. Does it have any story? That's good.
Oh, the story's actually like, I skip a lot of it, but it's actually pretty good. It's actually like, and man, you have to check out the PVs. The recent PV for KR, the new character, it's a guy, by the way, so it's not waifu, but wow, it's like it's very, if you know the story of the character, it's even more like, it hits really hard. Should I spoil it? I don't know if it's a spoiler. Guys in chat, do you play Counterside? You guys, if you play
For me,
Counterside, you know who.
it doesn't spoil if you don't know the context. So that's my personal take on spoilers. So it's all up to you and
Yeah.
your
So
chat.
so it's like in a game they have like so they have like a main character and they have like, I mean they have one character and they'll have like an awakened form of it. So so there's this one character. He's the main character, right? So he's basically like, in terms of Genshin, it's like Kaya. Power level is pretty good. You get him at the start. He's useful in meta, but he's also like not the best. And then like imagine they have like an awakened form of Kaya. Like maybe later on he gets like delusion powers or something. So this is like that version in Counterside. And then it's really interesting because he's in this one team, and then he's following this squad leader or team leader, and she killed his parents. And he knows she killed his parents, but he's following her still. Because of like, he wants to, and then she also knows that like he's not like following her with the full intention of like being 100% loyal. He's like, one day if I get the chance, I will kill you, you know? And she's like, yeah.
I was hoping you were gonna say
Yeah.
that. I was really hoping you were gonna say that.
And there's a lot of like character development and like a lot of like finding out the truth and coming to terms with like accepting why she did it, you know? And then when they release his awakened character, it's like there's so much emotion in it because of like he came to terms with it. He accepted like this power that he had. He accepted why she killed the parents, and like he grew from it. And it's like the song that they have in that PV is also like so good. I'm like, wow, this hits different. This is like next level that I never thought like a quote unquote waifu thick plot game would like, you know, have. So yeah, I don't know why we were talking about Counter-Strike, but I was just saying that's a really interesting game.
I've been asked many times to try Counterside. It's
Really?
just I don't have the mental capacity to add on to the list of games that I'm playing.
Yeah, I mean, it
don't.
is. I'm playing F2P, but I mean, I'm still enjoying it. I got like the 2 main PvP characters already, so I'm happy.
Like I'm playing Honkai, I'm playing PGR, and I'm playing Arknights, and those are like the main games on the channel: Honkai, PGR, and Arknights. And every other game is me just showcasing said game in hopes that it would come to a bigger audience. If a game really captures me, I'll add it to like a list of games that I want to actually invest time into. But it was probably a mistake starting Arknights because it's just so much content.
Huh.
It's so much content that I have to like start from the beginning, and I just don't have the time for the type of content that's in the game. So it takes a lot of thinking and strategizing for a lot of these missions. So you make no progress in the story unless you can complete these missions. I can skip them all day, but the whole thing that actually started pulling me in was the story. Afro. Was the story and the gameplay. So if I stop either or, there's no point in me playing it anymore. So yeah, it's like I want to get invested in it so bad, but it's just like, where do I find the time to really? Right now, oh holy crap! There's a character. Have you played Arknights?
No, but I've seen a lot of people play it.
W, man. I just like her entire the character herself. He's literally a he's gonna talk about W. I knew. Look at the chat. She's literally just like this psychotic. She's playing both sides type of character, and it has me so interested. Right now, I'm down bad with that character. I'm trying my best to get her on a low rate banner because I want her that bad.
Oh my god.
Like it's that bad, bro. It's that bad. The characters, the art design, story, I haven't felt this way about a game since, well, all 3 games. It's literally Honkai, PGR. It takes that kind of thing to make me play a game. If you have good art, good story, and good gameplay, I'm down. Arknights just has one thing I don't like: EVs.
Whoa, yeah. I can kind of see that.
Like I don't, and it's not even like it's just in the battle system, but it's like they have such amazing art in the for the characters. I want to see them move and attack other people and talk, and I want to see that, and they just don't have that. That would be the perfect game if they had full body characters in it. Perfect game.
Chibi hater.
I am a chibi hater. That's my mod, by the way, Afro.
Oh, hello.
Yeah.
Wait, I'm having difficulty with this stage, but I shouldn't be because I already have like the infinite damage, which is kind of weird. Is Benares like that thick? Like HP wise, of course.
I mean, you can. Never mind.
What?
Never mind.
Which banner is W in again? Is it one of those like off raids?
You talking about W?
Yeah.
She is like 30. It's like a 30% of like a already low rate or something. Hold on.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's a really bad. Hold on. Can someone get the rates for me? Because I can't find it. Yeah, I don't have anyone talking about it in my Discord right now. Yeah, that's. I hope people see it so I don't have to dig into the game.
Interesting.
It's like 4% if you get a 6-star. That's actually like what it is. It's actually just like that. 4% if you get a 4-star. So it's like adding on to an already low rate. Get me?
Mm-hmm.
Like it's horrible.
Are you willing for
trying.
a character like that? That's really just way too real.
There's a guarantee for her, but it's like you're really gonna like. This is where it's gonna like mold you for a second.
Okay.
If you pull 300 times, you're guaranteed to get her. Yeah. So I'm that down bad. The best part about it though. They gave us a whole bunch of free pulls that contribute towards it.
Uh-huh.
So I was like already a good 50 something pulls in like already. But like yeah, it's 300, bro. It's like the worst. It's like the worst situation for a gacha game. But it's like when you like I want the character that bad, dude. I don't know when she's going to come back. Like it's the character that had me captivated from the very beginning because that's her event started my experience in Arknights and learning her story. I'm not even done with it, but what I've gotten so far, I'm just in love with the character. So because of that investment, I'm willing to put in that many. I'm at 226 right now, pulls.
What? That is very close.
Yeah. So I'm gonna get her. I'm gonna hate myself, but I'm gonna get her.
Wait, chat's saying Bright Knight. Yeah, and?
No, I was just gonna say, I'm like disclaimer for anyone in the chat. I'm not condoning any of this.
Yeah. Spend wisely,
be
guys.
responsible with your money. Like, don't be like me. Don't be like me.
Oh wait. We're in the infinite damage. Wait, why was I getting stuck earlier? Was I breaking my chain?
I don't know what you're doing. I'm just now like tuning into what you're like
yeah,
I was
yeah.
so into
I mean, we were in the
conversation.
W and like I was into W conversation even though I've never seen the character. Wait, why am I doing enough damage now?
I think maybe you were breaking the chain.
True.
You weren't really focused. I could tell by when you were like talking. Like I can see what you're doing on my screen. It didn't look like you were focused.
All right, then we got this, boys. Oh no! 30 HP, 30 HP. Can we do this with 30 HP? Holy Jesus Christ!
You got her on debut. I saved Harfer. I wish I wasn't such an airhead and I put the chibi thing to the side during the time where she was around. But maybe I wouldn't even care about the character that much because
Okay, we can do this. We can do this.
you
We can do it. Yeah.
paused it.
Yeah.
You stopped
You
entirely.
can
Wait,
quit
what?
the entire thing and go back in. So restart the stage for you. If you're fast enough when you hit 0 HP, just do that. Because I don't have a healing source. So I'm totally banking on the fact that I'm gonna get infinite damage and clear it without getting touched. Yeah. It's a concept that if you don't really play the Elysian Realm, you wouldn't get. But basically, this character herself, Mobius. Wait, how much of the... You're okay with, like, the story of the Elysian Realm, right?
Yeah, I know the story of it. I haven't started anything further in.
Yeah, Mobius is basically one of the moths, so this is her signet. And we're actually using her signet. There's no relation. Any character can use her signet. But so, like, this ability here, Dead, 35% bonus total damage per second in Mind Sync. So, like, you have Mind Sync, and then, so basically what I'm doing is that these abilities allow me to loop the Mind Sync duration if I keep activating, like, my elf and my supports. And so if I break the chain, then I lose, like, this bonus. But if I don't break it, I will have, like, 35 per second. So if I'm 10 seconds in, I have 350% total damage bonus. If I'm 100 seconds in, I have, like, 3,500% increase of damage. So that's, like, I'm doing 30...
And you can consistently keep that running?
Yeah. So if we keep
That's
that up
broken.
for, like... Yeah, it's
That's broken.
It's very hard to build. That's why I don't want to let go of this run. It's very hard to build, because everything you get prior to that is not useful by itself. It's only when you assemble the whole set that it becomes useful. So I'm, like, desperately clinging on to wanting to beat this. And if you check out, like, my damage right now at the start, it's, like, very low. So it has to ramp up.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm like, wait, why wasn't I doing damage earlier? That's not possible. And I was like, Cha, am I doing something wrong?
Well, you were experiencing bugs anyway, so maybe that was just another bug on top of other bugs. I don't know. Just assuming. That's broken.
Yeah. See, my damage is gonna keep going up as long as I can maintain it. And chat is saying, like, yeah, I'm doing 30% less total damage because I have a physical attack source. But I can bring Durandal anyway because Tesla Zero is also physical. So, you know.
Okay, when you say
Mm-hmm. Go on.
I'm trying to make sure I'm asking the right question. So what is the chain? Like, what exactly are you doing? I know it's like a command loop, right?
Yeah.
But what exactly are you doing?
If you look at, like, the supports on the side, that Bronya and Durandal on the side, I have to keep activating that as well as my elf. And then if you look at, like, that Mobius little icon above my HP, that's the chain. So it says 20 right now, 20 seconds. So that's, you want to keep it up as long as possible. Yeah. So every time I activate, it adds 5 seconds to it. You can fully upgrade that buff to add 8 seconds to it per activation. And so you want to keep it up. The moment it goes back down to 0 and you have to restart it, you lose all that damage that you accumulated. So that's why, like, it's very stressful because I haven't upgraded any of the signets. Once you upgrade the signets, your timing becomes a lot more lenient. And also, like, you saw 35% per second. That one goes up to 50% per second. So you're basically, like, 2 seconds in, you have 100% total damage bonus already. You're doing 2 times damage. And every second, you get 50% more.
Like, I'm literally watching that time, like, go down, and I'm like, okay, how is he gonna do this? And then it goes all the way back up to 15 and sometimes 20. Like, jeez, what the heck?
You're, like, micromanaging.
Yeah, that's broke.
This is gonna cut it real close.
That's the kind of broken that I think is, like, good for a game, though, because it's something that you gotta
you have to work
build
for it.
In order to, yeah.
Oh my god, I don't even know if we'll have the time to defeat. 10 seconds. Oh god, no, the paralysis. Oh, okay, we have to reset. That's the issue with Benares.
2 bars?
Oh,
I would have been pissed. I would have been pissed.
That's the issue with Benares, right? Because she keeps flying up, and it's so annoying. She's just wasting your time. And then the tornado thing is like you have to wait for the tornado, otherwise you get frozen to death. And then there's also like paralysis. It's like, oh, I see why people hate Benares now. Yeah.
I've only played the story Benares, so she's always been easy for me.
Blue Eyes White Dragon.
Blue Eyes White Dragon. What the hell? But every single time I see other people fight her, it's like the most frustrating looking thing in the world.
I mean, she is in a lot of maps, so there are a lot of difficulties involving. Yeah, but basically, you need 3 signets, and then you'll unlock this one, Infinite. There's maybe a little bit of latency, but so the hard thing to do with MindSync is that you can stay in MindSync for 3 seconds only, and then you'll have to like keep tapping unless you get this other signet called Newborn, and then it lists the cap, and then like if you have that 3 seconds on and you do another activation, the next one gives you 5 seconds. So you want to keep stacking, and it's like 5 seconds, 5 seconds, 5 seconds. And then there's also another one that when you have an activation within the MindSync duration, it lowers the cooldown by 4 seconds of your supports. So it's like they all support each other, and it's one whole set. It's like if you do it, you know, because the other signets are a lot more straightforward with like what bonuses they give you. Like do an ultimate evasion, you gain 40% total damage, like right off the bat. So it's like it's very like just do this, you get this. But there's no like higher than that, right? So this is like a gambit of like I throw away all my early game damage, but when I get it fixed up, you know, I'm that much stronger. So it is. I don't think everyone plays this way, but like I like it just for the. It's strong. It once you get past the early stages, it solves a lot of problems for you.
That's interesting because.
Yeah. It's a really smart way to write like the game mechanic, you know?
Yeah, every single one of the abilities is complementing the other ability so that you could stack up that buff.
Yet by themselves, they're so useless.
Right.
You know? That's I'm really I'm also really interested to look at like the remaining 5 moths, because we've already covered a lot of bases in terms of like the bonuses that we can get. Like we've got when you do an ultimate evasion, you get certain boosts. We've got when you cast an ultimate, you get certain boosts. You know, stuff like over time you get boosts, HP related, SP related. I'm like, what else can you do? Like weapon active maybe? I don't know. Like it's gonna be really interesting how they play with 5 more characters that are gonna give us buffs.
The funny thing is, this is the least liked character I've seen in Honkai in a while. I don't really like Mobius's gameplay.
Monster energy. Oh god.
It's just so weird to play.
Oh, maybe I should reset. Oh, that was a good start, but I got slapped real hard. I kind of like her though.
I mean, a lot of people do. It's just weird for me.
Who's your favorite? Who's your favorite? Like not like story wise, but like when you're like playing, you know, like
Hersha of Thunder or Hersha of Reason Branya.
Oh wow, yeah,
those are
cool.
Those are like my favorite characters in the game. Before that it was I'd even say I'm trying to remember her name. This is actually embarrassing that I don't remember her name. She's
it happens.
From the Genshin. It's from the Genshin collaboration.
Fischl?
Fischl. Fischl was freaking fun. Fischl was a really fun character. I like the pink-haired girl's name.
Elysia?
Elysia. Yeah, she's fire. I like the bow character so far. In the game.
Oh yeah, you and Fenris are the same. Fenris is like Teyvat archery club, like for Genshin. He's like, I'm a big fan of all the archers, and I guess I've heard that sentiment as well in Honkai of like, oh, I like all the bow characters. I guess they really play like
they're just fun.
Yeah, they play really differently. Which on that topic, that was one of the things that drew me to PGR. Surprisingly, Bianca, the way she plays, is so
Queen
fresh.
Dicky.
What?
I call her the Queen Thicky.
Oh.
He manages all the thick in PGR. Don't ask.
I
no
mean,
real explanation.
Okay. But yeah, I feel like that's one thing that PGR does so well, and Honkai. I'm glad, like with the bow characters, Honkai didn't seek to quote unquote replicate that, but they went with their own translation of like what a bow character is. But Bianca is such a like the feel of the gameplay is so well done. Yeah, that it made me appreciate PGR so much because honestly, there is no Honkai character that plays that way, just ever.
That's why I like the two games. Both games have their own approach to active battle.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel like a clone of either one. It doesn't feel like they took anything from either one. It feels like this is straight from the drawing board type gameplay. And they refined it so much before releasing the gameplay that it just feels good. Like when I first played PGR, I was just button mashing and I was having fun. But I don't understand Chinese. So I didn't know the how the orb system actually functioned.
Oh.
Yeah, so when the game came out in the global and the chat was like, no, this is how you're supposed to really like efficiently use the orbs in like, let's say alpha. I was like blown away that there was so much thought put into it.
Let's go, chat. We beat her.
Congrats, bro.
Thanks.
10 seconds left too.
Oh yeah. Okay, yeah. Like with the orb system alpha.
And then with Honkai, that's the traditional way of. I always say that this is like the, this is the. I can't think of the word at the moment, and it's something I've been saying.
I feel like you almost got the word out, and then you were like,
"Yeah, I just did." That's why I stopped. I was like, "Please, just come back." It's basically like this is what you look at whenever you're trying to build an action game. This is like, it's the freaking word. Like it just won't come back. But yeah, this is what you look at whenever you're trying to build an action game. This is that. It came back for a second.
The epitome?
Yeah. Oh.
It is the standard. It is the
standard is a good word, but that's not what I was gonna say. It's the standard that you That's not what I was gonna say. It's gonna bother me for the rest of this entire conversation. It's the golden standard. There we go. It's the golden standard for any action game. If you look at even like Aether Gazer, right? And they're probably gonna hate me for doing this, because it like you can tell there's obvious. Hey, we looked at other games to get an idea of how to start our combat. And that's not necessarily a bad thing. It's good to innovate in that way and take notes from other games. But yo, Honkai is like the golden standard, and whenever you play another action RPG, you can tell when it's just not done right because of our experience playing this game.
That is true.
Oh.
Yeah, you know, one thing, like when we were mentioning like the relation between that is also something that Honkai did something really right that made me even more disappointed than I already was with Dynasty Warriors Unleashed, right? Because you know the whole thing. I don't know if you play like the Dynasty Warriors series, but the whole thing about it is like
the old PlayStation ones,
yeah,
like back in the day when PS2 was like the reigning dominant console.
They have like the light attack and like the quote unquote charge attack, right? So you have like first sequence, second sequence, and then you charge, and then like so on, and like Fuwa has that. You know, like Shadow Knight, Valkyrie Exhibitor, they have that like A/B concept. And I'm like, well, I thought it was like a mobile game limitation that they didn't do it with like the mobile game port of Dynasty Warriors. And then Honkai comes out with Fuhua, and I'm like, well, why wasn't a system like that done? You know, like you guys, your whole game is predicated on this one mechanic, and why don't you like have a whole entire team to program it? And Honkai just like easily does it for not even like, you know, they don't even have to implement it on like all characters. It's just one of the many characters. It's like, easily we just like put this mechanic into the game, which is your whole game, and you didn't even decide to like make it, you know? And I'm like,
It just feels like, and of course I'm picking my words carefully so you can like do what you will with this. I hate when developers literally just half-ass something.
Oh yeah.
Like it, and you can feel in the gameplay how much potential a game has. It's missing core systems that they never add, and you're just like, okay, well that was a waste.
Yeah.
But I've just invested money thinking you were going to add this later, but you didn't. I've learned never to expect. If the game has never been out before, like if this isn't a game that's been in China for a long time and you can see the long-term progression of the game, never expect from the developers that they're going to add something that's needed for a game. I've learned that that was a hard lesson I had to learn, because I'm not going to name this game because I actually have a good relationship with the developers. But there's one specific game that I've played, and I was just so disappointed that there was a mechanic that felt like there was only one thing missing, and I just kept relaying it to them. And I was like, all you have to, like, I guarantee you this is literally going to help the longevity of your game. And they're just not doing it. It's not, they've told me straight up they're not even interested.
Oh.
Yeah, and I'm just like so disappointed because the game is just like so good. It's so good. Yeah. There's a lot of games like that though. And a lot of developers think that way. Like this is how they built their game. This is how they want their game to be. And regardless of player feedback, this is the game that we made.
I mean, I respect that to an extent, but also it's like sometimes you just have to adapt. If you have to like sit down and like actually consider if that something will be useful, you know?
Yeah, it's not, the thing is, it's not like we're asking you to change the core mechanics or the story or anything like that. We're asking you to add a feature that will enhance the longevity of the game. Like how some people will say auto farming in PGR is something that's needed because it's something that, you know, they don't want to go back and do this one stage over and over and over, which I understand. You've done it once and you just want to farm for the materials, right? So while I personally would rather do the missions over and over again, I understand why it's a burnout for some players.
Yeah.
So that adds to the longevity of the game. It's like that. This is something that's needed. And I think I can use Kuro as a good example of listening to player feedback. Because just recently they did like a dev discussion type thing, and they addressed like all the concerns that we had about the game. Like they saw that global players are massively using emulators, and so they want to enhance the emulation experience for the players.
Cool.
Like that's like it's always about adding those small things to the game to make sure that your game lasts. Content is always a good thing, right? You want to make sure that there's always content, but if people aren't having fun doing the content, then it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Adding details are always important to keeping your game live and healthy. And I feel like Honkai and PGR and Arknights all do that very well. Arknights just enhanced their entire UI. Freaking beautiful. I hated the way it was before.
That's interesting that you would put Arknights there, because I've never played Arknights. I've only ever like seen gameplay and stuff. But one of like the very, very, very high tier Honkai players who has been playing Arknights for a really long time. Recently, I've heard him say that he's considering dropping the game, or like it's almost like a done deal. I don't. Is something happening in Arknights? Because like, I think he spent quite a bit in Arknights.
I'm new, so I'm getting satisfaction from what I'm experiencing now. It's basically like a new generation versus old generation type conversation because they're seeing flaws that I'm not seeing.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? Like
Yeah, yeah, I
I'm
get
not
that.
I don't get like why people are quitting because I started the game later. I don't see the complaints and all the stuff. I could probably dive back and watch videos, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I don't want to. I'm enjoying it. So why
Mm.
would I want to go back and ruin that experience for myself?
Yeah.
So like I think they're seeing issues that we just don't see as new players. I said we. I
I
don't see
think
as
his
like,
concern was like he kind of said something. I mean, it's really vague, but like he kind of said something like, "Oh, there were changes that we were hoping to see that never came," and like it kind of is in the realm of like, "Oh, it's a really stale game." So you know, so like yeah, I maybe it's exactly what you're saying of like, it's probably like an old player versus new player thing.
yeah.
Yeah.
And that's one thing I have to always keep into perspective too, because there are some veteran players that come into my chat, and you know they're trying to help, you know, but I try to keep my perspective of the game there instead of theirs because some of them are very negative on the game because of their experiences.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And I want to keep my perspective as fresh as possible. It's kind of like me coming into Honkai like now, like just when things are starting to ramp up and get crazy, and I'm complaining about issues that you guys know aren't really an issue.
Mm.
You know what I mean? Like it's
Yeah.
not an issue because I don't understand the game yet.
Yeah.
So why am I complaining about said issues? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I just feel like it's just a generational gap type thing.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Hmm.
But I mean, didn't Tectone come from that community too?
Yeah.
Wasn't he? Yeah, okay, that's what I thought. He was an Arknights player first. I don't know what he did first. He was an Arknights player, and I don't know, maybe Genshin came out and he just quit. I don't know.
So Tectone is a little like let me just establish like what I know about him first. I don't know much about Tectone. I have watched some of his stuff. So like but I do get like he has a bit of like people have like certain preconceived notions about him, whether or not they watch him. Wait, was Tectone badmouthed by the developers? I have no idea.
By the developers? No, he said it. They were.
Techie was an
was
AK
badmouthed.
YouTuber. Oh. Yeah,
Yeah, he
I
said
have heard
was.
of that. I have heard of that. Of like how. So this is a very difficult topic because it's always like who is the community in this case, right? Because I've heard, quote unquote, and I quote, I've heard this from a number of people, like, oh, the Arknights community didn't want him there or something like that. I'm like, it's very hard to generalize like this community doesn't want someone here or there because there's always going to be people who are like supportive of you and not supportive of you. Like it's very hard to think that an entire community would just come together and be like, hey, you suck, you know. Like, so I take it with a grain of salt because I for one have no idea what happened. I already said I don't play Arknights. You know, I've never followed that scene. So as far as I know, I kind of get the idea of like Tectone used to be a and we're not gonna make this entire podcast about him, so we're just gonna touch and go here, right? But it's like for me it's like I kind of know like he was from Arknights, and then he plays Genshin, and that's pretty much like all I know about him. I've watched like the session he had with Dr. K, and I don't formulate an opinion if I don't watch enough of someone. And I don't think I've watched enough of him. So like if you guys think like I have comments that like or opinions that side him or don't side with him, just take it with that perspective of like I don't really know much about him, so I'm gonna look at everything like objectively. You know what I mean, guys? Because I kind of am aware that like certain people have certain reputation, but I'm just like an outsider looking in. But yeah, so
I'm staying away from the topic. I'll mention him in good relevant situations, but I stay away from the topic entirely. because I actually do have some opinions about him.
Yeah,
So,
I mean, it's natural, right? Like, I do expect that a lot of people would have, like, opinions about, like, multiple people. So I'm no judgment, man.
yeah, it's just I don't like bad mouthing. It's not just a tech tone thing. I don't like bad mouthing creators
Mm-hmm.
in a public setting because I actually like acknowledge um the level of um influence that even my small channel has.
Mm-hmm.
Um so when, like, let's say I make a video on something, and if I mention something that's um I don't realize there's a controversial topic, and I'm basically encouraging people to do something that's negative. I try not to do that.
Mm-hmm.
So whatever opinions that I have about someone, I just kind of just I'll probably talk about them off stream or something like that, just to kind of understand other people's perspective on stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I'll never make that like a video that's widely seen,
Mm-hmm.
because it's like talking bad about someone that doesn't know you and behind their back. I rather not
Yeah.
do that.
Tecton has recently played Honkai. I mean, so have a lot of, like, Genshin creators, but I feel like, not to categorize, like, probably just a lot of people in general, I feel, have just picked up Honkai. Probably because of Star Rail. Because it's, like, the next big thing that also has the word Honkai in it, so that's probably created a bit of buzz. But yeah.
I think
Mm-hmm.
I think that's actually going to be a double-edged sword in a way. I think it's going to be a fantastic game. I just think that people are going in for the wrong reasons.
Also, I get what you mean the moment you said, like, you think it's a double-edged sword. Like, it builds up more hype and expectation than just a normal release would. Probably, right? Yeah.
Yeah, exactly it. Because when there's three kinds of players. There's veteran four. There's veteran Honkai players, new Honkai players, Genshin players, and people that have never played any of these games before. So, the Honkai players kind of know what to expect, whether you're new or not. They kind of know what to expect in terms of story. They know that the gameplay is turn-based, and they're willing to give it a try. And if they like it, they like it. If they don't, they don't. But they're there for the story. That's the Honkai community. And then there's the Genshin community that is just now getting into Honkai, but their whole influence and everything that they know about that universe is open world action combat. So when a turn-based game comes out, and let's say a lot of them don't know turn-based games, and they're not invested in that Honkai story, well, they're most likely gonna badmouth the game because there's no investment there, and they think that this is a downgrade. A lot of people would say action combat is the upgrade from turn-based combat, but I see them as two completely different things, and geared towards two completely different audiences. And it's very obvious what miHoYo is doing. miHoYo is trying to make a game in various genres, but still tie you in to their lore. This part is probably we don't have any confirmation on this yet. We've seen little signs, but we think we have proof as to why that there is a huge correlation between Honkai and Genshin. We've only seen small inklings, but those small inklings have a lot of merit to them. And then there's Honkai. Well, we know what Honkai is. There's a massive story behind it. There's APHO. There's manga, and then there's now Honkai Star Rail, and we might have all of this in one giant lump of story.
Honkai racing game in future, sure.
Well, they also said they're working on a FPS. I don't know how far that is in the works, because this was announced before Genshin came out. But miHoYo's working on an FPS.
Cool.
Like, I just feel like they're doing the perfect. They're doing the right things, but I just kind of feel like pulling in just people that have only experienced Genshin is where the double-edged sword comes in. People are gonna
Yeah.
be very, very, very disappointed if all you know is the gameplay of Genshin and you don't pay attention to the story. You don't find satisfaction in the story of Genshin.
Yeah.
But then you go back and you're playing Honkai Star Rail, what is a turn-based game. The game's most likely going to be fantastic because MiHoYo just makes fantastic games.
Is it potato
But-
friendly? I would think a turn-based game is definitely going to be more potato friendly than like action, because it's just like graphics is it's kind of like a fan service, right? You're at the end of the day, the movement and all that doesn't really, at least I don't know, like nobody has played Star Rail yet, but usually in a turn-based, like the movement is like all just for, you know, for display purposes, and it's not like tied into like your controls. So
Right.
yeah, I would think that
But
it's potato
it's the
friendly.
gameplay outside of that I think might not be potato friendly. Well, like you said, we don't know this. We haven't played it yet.
Mm-hmm.
But when you we don't know if it's an open world yet.
I think it is. I mean, but I think it is. Oh, do I really want to defeat it here though? Oof, oof. Let me just quit and come back in. I only have 18 HP. I have to face Elysian with 18 HP. I ain't no psycho. Okay.
Oh, your HP carries over too?
Yeah.
Oh, that's nuts.
18 HP versus Elysian. I'm not crazy, chat. Whew. Alright. Yeah.
But yeah.
I mean, Star Rail is
It's-
gonna be... Okay, by the way, I gotten a lot of, like, I was asked quite a bit, like, because I streamed yesterday and stuff, so I'm just gonna let you guys know, I have no access to Star Rail Beta. So just do me a favor and don't talk about, like, Star Rail past this vid, because I feel like there's no way I'm gonna be able to, like, keep track of it. So I'm not gonna...
Let's go ahead and change the subject then.
Yeah.
'cause
No, now
wanna
it's
do that.
okay. Now it's okay because it's not out yet, right? Like, after the beta is out, I'm not gonna, like, right now when we're all, like, on the same level, I don't mind. But once the beta is out, there's definitely gonna be, like, the content creators who are gonna have direct access and, like, gonna be, like, on the story and everything, and I'm just not gonna be there. So, you know, just so you guys know, like, past that, just, I'm not gonna talk about it or, like, have anything to do with Star Rail. So just keep that in mind.
That hurts my soul a little bit.
Okay.
I wanted to talk to you about it a lot.
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. Anyway,
Yeah, let's
yeah.
change the subject.
Star Rail, no, Star Rail is gonna be. I feel like it's gonna be interesting, but given how close the beta is, like, I feel like we don't really have to like any kind of speculation is just gonna be, you know, if we make like a stupid kind of like prediction, we're gonna look real stupid in like 4 days. So
Yeah, yeah.
so I'm like,
I will
yeah.
say, I feel like this is going to be the same type of situation that happened with Genshin. Beta 1 was drastically different from Beta 2 and Beta 3. There was a difference in the map design. There was a difference in the characters. Graphic choices and story choices were changed. Hell, the story differences were drastically changed. The intro to the game, like, I think this Beta 1 truly does not reflect.
I mean,
what
there's also a lot
players
of
are
value in getting into Beta 1 on how, like, for Genshin, at least Beta 1 people got to see Ayaka. And she took so long to hit the main servers, right? So there's definitely going to be a lot of merit in, like, whichever version that you're going to get to play. And because it's Beta 1 also, they'll probably, like, give you access to a lot of characters that they just want to see the performance with. And then they're just going to hold for, like, a huge number of versions. So...
Of course, there's going to be merit, right? That's not so much what I'm worried about, I guess. The only worry that I really have is what I should and shouldn't talk about, and I won't really know because let's say they allow us to share every detail of the beta, right? And I'm making a video about this character. I don't realize that this character is isn't coming out at launch.
Oh, I think you're fine with
And
that because they're just like they let people talk about like Xiao and Ayaka who never came out at launch anyway, but it's just like good
oh,
publicity.
that's what I'm getting to. That's actually what I'm getting to.
Oh.
I had knowledge about Zhao, like all of us did, but we didn't realize that it was going to be as accurate. I got heat for literally telling people we're not going to see Zhao until the Lantern Right, which they immediately announced was delayed, and that immediately sent hate to my channel. So I'm just like, I gotta be careful at the type of content I make because of that reason. I'm just worried a little bit about, hey, said character's coming out. I make a video on said character. He appears to be the most coolest OP thing, right? And game comes out and he's nowhere to be seen.
Mm-hmm. I mean,
so I'm just
but then that video is going to just like stay there, and then when the character is actually coming out in Star Rail, then the hype is gonna go back. Like how like my PGR videos are like doing way better than when I first played PGR, because it's like it's the new hype, you know? Everyone's going back to check like how I pulled for like the Nier characters, even though they're like a year away.
They're not a year away. I think they're gonna be a lot sooner. They're accelerating a little bit.
That is good. That is good. So that is good and bad because I purposely did like a no pool, no top up because I wanted to be like, hey, it's a year now. Look at how this account has done, and then like actually top up and like triple S plus all the Nier characters. But now that it's not like a year progress, it's like kind of anticlimactic.
I think what they're trying to do, and this is just speculation, right? Because they want us to still feel, they still want us to feel as if we're being rewarded for playing the game. Some of the feedback that I sent them was, we still want to be able to receive the same amount of rewards or more in that short amount of time. That way we can be ready when Nier characters come out, or when Ice Lucia comes out, or when how do you say her name again? You told me before.
Chu.
Chui?
Yeah.
Okay. Sure. Yeah, like when those characters come out, we want to be ready in terms of black cards and materials. And congratulations, bro! I saw your face.
140 difficulty.
So happy. And double S plus. Oh, that's your challenge rating.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
440. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I guess I just want them to realize having any kind of less resources might result in some backlash, and it's also not fair to the players.
Oh, that is true. That is true. Yeah.
Yeah, because you're accelerating, but we still want the same amount of rewards.
I don't know how it would work for PGR, but Honkai had like massive acceleration for global, because global was the latest server to be established, so they just went ham with like the release schedule. We were like, because SEA was like 1 year
on that. Go ahead, finish your thought first.
Yeah, so SEA was like a year older than global, maybe more. And it came to a point where we were getting the same banners. And we were like, what the heck is happening? But apparently it turned out well, because now we're all caught up. So I just wonder, like, for a game of PGR, you know?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna allude to. I feel like, once again, double-edged sword. You ramp up your schedule. If let's say they ramped it up faster than they already are, ramp up your schedule. You get caught up to CN, maybe by like CN gets stuff a month earlier, a couple weeks earlier, but then we get it. My worry is that now that advantage, right, that we have being behind is now gone, because we see all the content, we know what to prepare for, we know how to prepare for it, and it's just documented well all over the internet. But then you accelerate everything, and now we're caught up, but now we don't know what's coming, we don't know what's next, and we may not be prepared. Players like me, we know, save your freaking black cards, we don't know what's coming, just be prepared, right? But there's players that are like, oh, new flashy character. I want new flashy character now.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's the better character that comes shortly after. And they're like, oh, I just wasted all my black cards. We need a roadmap. So I just kind of feel like there has to be something that they do. If they're going to ramp it up.
Yeah.
If they're going to ramp it up, we need something to help the players still acquire all the same rewards. To be able to acquire the characters in the same rate that the CN servers were. It's just, there's a lot of things they would have to do, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. By the way, I'm gonna pull for Klein.
Okay, I'm gonna be quiet.
No. We can just keep going. Because I'm not expecting to get her.
I want to see it. I want to see it.
79 pulls. So like, wait. Then I can increase the volume. All right. 79 pulls to guarantee. I don't think we're gonna get her. Mind Stone. Okay. Chat, you guys think we're gonna get a copy?
Okay, before you do any more polls, I want you to stare at the chat and tell them to type elf in the chat and just fill the chat up with elf.
All right, let's go. Let's go, chat. Let's go, chat. Elf. Let's go, chat. Let's go, type elf. Elf. Woo! All right.
Okay, there we go. Okay.
There we go. Oh, holy crap. With all the power of chat. Let's get Klein.
No.
Let's get Klein.
Come on, love.
Let's get...
Don't tell me you just actually got her.
Wow.
Chat, what did I say? What did I say? What did I say?
I know this phrase gets used a lot, but I really cannot believe it.
What did I say?
What the hell? Guys, if you wanna guarantee getting whatever you want from Gacha, DM Cha0tik and get him to give you a ritual.
The worst part is that I never get what I want. Everyone else always gets what they want with the stuff that I tell them to do. I don't get what I want. Ever.
Oh my god. I really cannot believe it. Like, we were 79 away. That is so far away from guaranteeing an elf. Wow.
I'm still trying to get W, chat.
Wow.
I'm gonna need you to do the same thing for me when we get into mine.
I'm gonna go to your chat and spam W.
They were doing it yesterday. It didn't work. It didn't work. I literally did I did 100 and something of my pulls all in one stream.
Okay, tell us more.
Okay, tell us more.
I really cannot believe it. Wow. Thank you, chat. Thank you, Cha0tik. Wow. The rate of like the movement, man, you guys.
And you singled it too, didn't you? Yeah, you singled it. So that's like lower.
It's not even a 10 pull guarantee, by the way. It's not like 100 pull is the guarantee for the elf, but it's not even a 10 pull guarantee. It's like, yeah, that the parts are also like quote unquote the A rank 10 pull guarantee. The parts are like the equivalent, and then the S rank is like the card itself. It's not even like 10 pull, and we got.
Oh, yeah,
whoa!
You got like really lucky then. Yeah.
Holy Christ! Wow. I'm in shock. I'm in shock. I did not. I wasn't.
Was watching this.
Oh
like,
my god!
We got you.
I wasn't a believer. I was like, chat. Wait, I can't let chat down. Chat's like spamming elf, and then we just. Oh, wow.
Hey, now the value just went up so much, and because you just incredible reaction to getting what you wanted. Everyone wins here. Everyone wins.
I really cannot believe it. Okay, wait, hang on. So 50-50, I 4-star her already because of the event. So
you already had the materials and everything for her?
With the event currency, the Anilon, you can buy her fragments. So I mean, a lot of people are going for Bright Knight, but you know, if you guys already know, I already triple S Bright Knight when she released. The only S rank that I did it for and will ever. Okay. um, but yeah, so now I get
That's
to.
insane, bro.
Yeah, it was, but it was really hyped. It was the first time I did it, and that was really funny, right? Like, so this is a little bit of like meta lore for anyone who's like relatively new to Honkai. When Bright Knight Excelsis came out, she was basically what Kokomi is to Genshin right now. She is like, if you see 6 Kokomi, you get memed on. Basically, Bright Knight was in that position. And I was like, I don't care, because I said, I'm a big fan of Cecilia. If Cecilia gets a battle suit, I'm gonna pull triple S right away for her S rank. And then like, Durandal came out, I was like, you know, Durandal was in the lore first. I was like, you know, good enough. If Durandal gets a battle suit, S rank, the first S rank, I'm a triple S it right away. And people are like, when we were doing the beta, we were already finding like the data on her was like so bad in terms of damage. And then everyone was like, she's so bad, she's not gonna be good for anything. And that was true for a bit. And they're like, are you sure? Like, even triple S is not gonna compare to like, at the time, the really, like the hottest mech physical was Twilight Paladin. And so like, Durandal being like a totally pulled Gacha S rank at triple S was like a double S Twilight Paladin equivalent. And people are like, you're crazy going for this. I'm like, yeah, I am. I'm just gonna go for it because I said I will. It doesn't matter whether she's good or not. I'm just gonna do it. And now, well, with the Abyss Flower and everything, I think I do kind of remember saying like, guys, she hasn't gotten a PRI, she hasn't gotten an Abyss Flower. You don't know how powerful she will be. I will be honest, despite me saying that.
And then okay, I see where this is going.
Right? Because she only had like Flare Serenity, and she was a new category. So she was the only lance user. So there were no other lances for you to compare. I was like, guys, this category is not even like fleshed out yet. Just get it first, you know? And I was kind of happy with the fact that she wasn't meta, because it's kind of like, then I don't look like, oh, I'm chasing meta. I just pull because it's strong. And now I'm kind of feeling it because like she's been in the meta recently for quite a while. And like when you have accomplishments with this character, they're just like, oh, he only got it because she's triple S. You know, so it's like for a while when she wasn't meta, I was kind of happy with it. I was like, yeah, you know, nobody's gonna be like memeing on me because I pulled it, and now like she's meta.
I say this all the time. Go for what you want to play, not for the meta.
Right, exactly.
Always go for that's where you have the most fun.
And
if you're just doing what everyone else is doing, you're never gonna have fun.
Now look who's laughing with PK. I mean,
all triple S and everything. Oh, jeez. And you got a pre-arm too?
Oh yeah, man. This weapon is so amazing.
Is it too much to ask you how much you spent on her?
On her?
On her.
Just on her, I think it was like 1.2k, 1k ish.
That's not, in the grand scheme of things, that's not a lot. But
also, I saved up a lot before she came out. Like I think 8 months in advance. I purposely spent less on like the other banners. I mean, chat knew it. Back then, I was probably like so small that you guys probably all don't know it, but like the channel was so small, but like the community that we had, they all knew what I was doing. I was like, guys, you know, this character, I like this character a lot. I feel like she's gonna get a battle suit. When she gets a battle suit, we start saving now. There wasn't even like any news of like Durandal. I was just like, we start saving now, in case she comes out, you know? And like, I'm gonna spend less on these banners, I'm gonna do this. It's gonna be a long process. I'm gonna have another account and just gonna put money in there. Every update, I'm gonna be like, this is extra money for Durandal, for Cecilia, quote unquote, like maybe Cecilia. And like, it was a long-term process. But when the banner came out, people can only see like that, like, oh, you're spending so much in a short while. And I'm like, it kind of hurt me a little bit because like I was all about like, please spend responsibly, you know? And it's like, but me doing this, it's like, I have to keep explaining that story over and over again. But yeah,
look, please spend I've said this before on my side. Please spend responsibly means please spend within your means.
Yeah.
So if it's within your means, you're still being responsible. As long as you're able to, at the end of the day, you're able to financially take care of what's important. So just because you spent that money does not mean you're being financially irresponsible.
Yeah. Also, I need 131. No, 121. Okay, let's buy it.
He is 5 head because I guarantee you, he was like, look, this character is gonna be fire in the future, but but I like her anyway, so screw it.
I mean, the stream itself is still on the channel, so if anyone thinks like I'm making this up just because like, oh, now she's strong, you can
no
say
reason for you
anything.
to lie.
Yeah, you can go
There's
back
no
and be
reason
like,
for you to lie.
right? And it's really funny because I was saying like, I mean, one of the reasons was also like, guys, she's like the strongest Valkyrie in the story. Like, you think MiHoYo's just gonna let it go? You know, if she's not strong now, like, you're gonna make it up.
You can kind of tell by their roles in the story, though. Like, if you pay attention to the story in the game, their roles in the story contribute to their strength in a way. Like, if they're gonna be relevant. Maybe not meta, but relevant. Like, yo, the fact that she was like a major plot point, not only in gameplay but in manga too, that only makes sense.
Yeah,
that only makes sense.
Because I was also going on about the fact that like we know the Hashas are like the strongest existing beings, especially like in the playable wise. So I'm like, the Hashas live up to their name. Every time they're released, like the Hash of the Void was super strong when she first came out. Reason was not a letdown either. Like Thunder, Sentience. I mean, Thunder and Sentience came out after BK, but it still is the point because like BK wasn't strong even after Thunder came out. So it's
Later,
like
Skybird.
Yeah, like Skybird.
Keep going.
Oh, yeah. So I was like, if this is a game that commits to lore power, is translated into gameplay, then you can be sure that Durandal's power is going to be translated sooner or later. And people are like memeing on it, and now she's like, nope.
Yeah, it's literally like, if it's written all over the manga and the story, then it's just like, it's a no-brainer to just invest in them. Most other games don't do it like this though, so that's why it makes sense for this game, but it might not make sense to other games. What other games do, right? They will kind of highlight a character, and then that's it.
Yeah,
like that's it. But in Honkai, they highlight a character and they continue that plot line throughout the rest of the story. Correct me if I'm wrong in any of this. Durandal is the one she's not only traveled to different
bubble
universes. She's traveled to other bubble universes. She was the one that fought against Sue, right? Yeah, she fought against Sue.
Yeah.
Like, dude, there's who's gonna compare to this character?
That is insane, indeed.
She battles Herishers like they're literally the casual enemies of the world.
That is true.
Like, what? She better be powerful. That would piss me off in terms of like character building and storyline if she was weak. So if you just pay attention to the story, you know exactly who's going to be strong. Once again, maybe not meta, but strong.
Yeah. Like, okay, I mean, like, there's also that about, okay, Mobius is strong, right? Alicia, she is strong for what she is. Farmable S rank.
What does that mean?
So like,
she's nasty.
I mean, yeah, she is. She is strong, but she's not like, okay, because Alicia is like, quote unquote, the most powerful moth. Like, she's supposedly in lore even stronger than Kevin, maybe by just a little bit, but she's supposed to be stronger, and Kevin is now the strongest living being to ever exist. So the fact that there's someone who was stronger than him, yeah,
okay,
like,
I think I know where you're going with
you
that.
know what I mean? It's like people think like, oh, maybe Alicia like gameplay wise doesn't translate, but this version of Alicia is also like, I'm not even trying, you know? So it's like, she is exactly like where she's supposed to be in terms of like lore to gameplay. Of like, maybe if you really want to see like the true extent of Alicia, maybe next time we get like a super like lore heavy flashback chapter, and then they release a new battle suit, and then that.
I was just about to say that.
Right? Yeah.
I think she's the thing that actually like makes me impressed by her. It's not even so much just the normal bow gameplay. It's her ult, bro.
Oh,
That
yeah.
ult is just so. It's just so unique one and just so powerful. Being able to have an enemy in a dome and literally just popping a charged arrow at the dome and it just continuously bounces all over the place, dealing massive damage to the enemy. Like it's. She's amazing, bro. She's amazing.
Why is my Elysian level 1? Because I haven't invested in her weapon yet. So without her weapon, you're not gonna really use her. So I'm just like, okay, I'll upgrade everything, but I'll leave her there for now until I get the material to like build it up, and then I'll build her up. Also,
Do you think?
Go
ahead.
I'm just waiting for her rank to go higher before like I start really utilizing. She's farmable, right? Yeah. So yeah, do I think?
This is a Genshin Honkai question.
Oh.
You think Elysia's place in the story is to build up something within Genshin? It came at a very awkward time.
I mean,
I'm just gonna give you. I'm gonna give you a couple points as to where I'm coming from with this, and then you just think about it and give me your answer.
Okay.
She came right. Correct me if I'm wrong. Right after the plot line with Klee and her mom.
You're not thinking that that's how Alice is gonna look like, are you?
No. I'm thinking we're getting an understanding on how long these characters live and how far their race extends.
But Alicia's not like born an elf. Her years were like a side effect of like the Iker.
Okay, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I haven't gotten that far into the story yet. I don't know.
But there is like that. But the Elysian realm does have like a lot of people think there's a link to it because of this symbol. The moth, the fire moth, is like seen on a lot of like Senora's. Just like her skills are like, you know, this emblem somewhere. So a lot of people thought like the timing of the Elysian Realm release with like Senora coming into like center stage in terms of like Genshin lore is like a lot of people think there might be some kind of relation, which is really odd because it is the exact same symbol. So there has to be some kind of relation, but we don't know what they're trying to allude to, which is really interesting. But
I think it just came at an awkward time. I don't know exactly what it might mean. I've tried piecing some things together, and just as you guys have educated me just now, maybe it has nothing to do with the fact that she's an elf. It just I guess was she human before?
Yeah.
Okay, she was human before.
So the moths were the first generation to kind of experiment with what they use as the tech for creating Valkyries now, which is to transfuse like or combine like Honkai powers to actual human hosts. So back when it wasn't perfected, the moths had like side effects. Like Yae Sakura has the years.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's what I thought you were going with it. Okay. Okay.
And they also have like
so
a secondary activation. Like they can actually, because their difference is that they're not just infused with Honkai powers. They're actually infused with an actual Honkai beast. So it has to be like an extremely high tier Honkai beast, and then they're infused with it. So a lot of them have sort of like a secondary, I think all of them have a secondary transformation. So yeah, that's very interesting.
I didn't know about the secondary part. That's something I definitely didn't know about.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. I didn't know that. I didn't know that about Elysia though. Like honestly, once again, why I need to hurry up and finish playing this damn story.
I don't call Sakura's years a side effect. That's a bonus.
Side effect.
Sure. Wait, there's that interesting fact about like how Yae Sakura is like wait, what does it say in the dorm? Like 170 centimeters or something, and then like with the years he's like 190. Hang on, where is it? Okay, we're done with that.
Do you play Honkai or Genshin?
Do I play Honkai? No. This game that we're playing is
Genshin,
Counter-Strike.
Do you play Genshin?
Yeah, I do. I have every character in
Okay.
Genshin.
Okay.
Huh?
Yeah, I'm not gonna comment on that. Leave me alone. But
There. 194,
Yeah.
including years.
194, including
Including
height. Oh
ears,
my god.
ears, yeah. Oh yeah. I'm sorry.
Okay.
My like. Can I have a cursor? Oh, there we go.
Her little character. So funny looking. I don't know why. It triggers me so. Yeah. Anyway, what I was alluding to anyway, and even though it may be completely irrelevant now, MiHoYo keeps doing this thing where they'll show something in one game and then something else. It had nothing to do with the chibi hater thing. It's just she just looks weird as a chibi. Like this chibi looks fine and very true to the character. Raven looks very true
Raven's
to her character.
chibi looks really good. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just something about Yae Sakura's chibi just doesn't sit right with me. I don't know why.
Maybe it's like a first gen design, because she's like one of the oldest characters here. So like maybe the newer ones were designed differently, right? They just look more crisp, and they didn't go back and like redo the old
like
ones.
that one looks great. Durandals? Oh my gosh. But anyway, to my point, they keep doing this thing where they introduce something in one game, and then it like may not have correlation with the story, but they do something that kind of like shows that, hey, we know you're watching, pay attention, like that kind of thing. So with Honkai Impact, before Genshin comes out, who shows up?
Oh,
The Fallen.
Yeah.
Then after the release of Genshin, if you go read the books in Genshin, they mention the Valkyries in the game, in the books.
Oh,
There's
you
little
pointed
things
that out.
that they keep doing things that, like, we know you're paying attention, or we know you're looking, keep paying attention. Like maybe I'm overlooking now because of how much I've just kept on finding things, but I don't know. It just keeps, like, me and UD have had like a lot of conversations on this.
You know, I've been hoping to do something, and like not necessarily like each of us do one video. Like maybe I think like Island's channel would be suitable for this, but like since we're all like invested in the game and like we all have like very, you know, like we're very interested in like maybe different areas, especially in lore, like I feel like we could do like a team thing of like, you know how it's a difference between when you're researching for a video as a single content creator or like when you have a team to work on it. It'll be interesting if like we could all just come together and like come up with one good like theory, like a whole like, you know, grand unified theory of like our take as like people who play both Honkai and Genshin, and like what are the all like listing every single detail of like what hints towards like Honkai and Genshin being linked, and then we have one person like make this one video and like just post it as a combined effort.
I actually don't think it should be I don't think it should be a video. I think it should be a discussion that we just make public, because the thing is, right, having that discussion and including the community to tie in loopholes and things we might not be paying attention to.
Oh,
that could be like the ultimate conversation.
So like we all do our homework first and then we start it. So like we have like everyone has live. Like this point, and we just point everything out.
Yeah, because I mean there's the hyper analytical people that pay attention to the story, like every detail of it, and then continue looking. There's the people that just see stuff like me. We'll just see something and then we start looking afterwards. Like there's so much we can definitely contribute as a group, and then include the community in it, because I don't see anyone else doing that. Like,
and then there's Island, who reads every single book and reads every single dialogue in Genshin, and there's me who skips everything. I mean, I don't skip.
That might be my fault that he does that.
Okay.
It might be my fault. I don't know, but I remember telling him, "Hey man, I'm just saying there's some stuff in these books that we should be paying attention to. I'm calling it now." And he's like, bet. Like I just remember that exact conversation. His last words on that subject was bet. So.
An organized video after the discussion may be good.
Yeah, maybe an organized video after the discussion.
Yeah, like the discussion is for chat to come
together.
in and be like, oh, point things out, and then like after that we have like enhanced knowledge.
Right. Imagine Finn, you, Unreal, me, Adla, just all in one space.
Island,
There's probably more. Island. I'm still not saying Island until he's caught up.
Because Island's not caught up with Honkai, so it's kind of
right. He said he's gonna keep playing the game a lot more until he catches up because he's tired of being not included in the conversations. But until he gets caught up, I don't want to include him in anything until he's caught up. Just being fair as a friend.
Yeah.
Because it's like to be included in a conversation, but not like.
No, that's not nice. That's not nice. That's toxic.
Yeah. So. Yeah. Yeah, he did just finish chapter 17 and cried his like he's acting like he didn't get up off stream to cry. We all know he got up off stream to cry. We all know. But yeah, I'm ready for him to be a part of the conversations because he's very knowledgeable and very detailed when it comes to his theories. He does enough research to really contribute. But that's why I want him to catch up first. So, yeah. It would be a really good thing for the community entirely because there's things that I need to learn. There's things that I can learn from you guys.
Poor Island, he cried.
We know he cried. And you guys can tell him I said this too. I don't really care.
I mean, yeah.
He got up. He got up when he saw the scene with the Hurrisher of Thunder, May. I was trying to think of her freaking name. When May had to school Kiana, put her ass to sleep, and and then pretty much she's not gonna see Kiana. I don't think she's gonna see Kiana again, even after Kiana's gone. What Kiana's gone means, I don't know. Yeah, I don't think she's ever gonna see Kiana again. Yeah. I just have this huge suspicion based off of the way the story's going. And based off of some of the things she said in APHO, that she probably never saw her again.
Yeah, like she has a lot of regrets.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember this one line in APHO of like, it's just like what she used to say, may all the beauty be blessed. And I'm like, okay, that's a really huge, like, they dropped that. So I don't know. Wait, hang on. Is the Picasso set any good? Picasso is a support set. Please do not use it as a DPS and wonder why you're not doing any damage. Just want to throw that out there. Yep. Okay.
But yeah, like I think the direction that they're going with the story is that May has made this decision and she's living by it. So
I'm sorry, what? May all the beauty be blessed in APH. Yeah, go. Oh, it's not. I don't think we can replay that.
No.
Because it's in it's in like the dialogue. You know, like how the intercom comes up in the stage. It's in one of those. We can't replay that. But there are players who would have like recorded their gameplay, so you might want to search out YouTube for like entire like uncut, no voice, no nothing, just full gameplay. I'm sure there are a lot of videos in that. You can go check it out. Yeah, sorry to cut you.
Yeah, basically all I'm saying is yeah, I think that's the direction they're probably going with the story, and probably the hardest thing that I think is going to happen, whether it's somewhere near the end, or I've already had this discussion with you. I really think that part of the end plot point for this story might have something to do with the real Kiana, which is gonna be really sick if they do this.
That would be cool.
If they do it right.
I mean,
if they do it right.
Yeah. Oh.
But you haven't let us down, right?
Oh.
They haven't let us down yet.
Wait, wasn't it? I will fight for all the beauty in this world. I think they quoted the exact line or something. They did say like it's like how it's like what she used to say, something like that. That line was like it's like what she used to say, and it was definitely a Kiana catchphrase. I don't know if saying catchphrase is like appropriate, but like it's definitely that.
I think it was. I think they're right. I think it was. Oh, fight for all that's beautiful in this world, or something like that. I think it was that one.
Oh, to fight for all for. Okay, yeah. My bad.
Yeah, I think it was that quote. I can't find.
Oh yeah, because that's what she says in game. Like Meow the Beauty Bee Bless is part of like the song. My bad, chat. My bad. Yeah. But they do say that. So chat is right. Yeah.
But yeah,
I only remember that line in Mandarin because so bad. Yeah.
Well, why? Explain it. Don't do that. Explain it.
No, it's just because like you always hear it, right? And it's like we don't have JP lines most of the time. So like I tend to like switch to CN when I'm playing like even voice lines for like SEA. I would switch to CN when I'm playing story and then switch back. So like audibly that's all I always hear. So I keep forgetting like which line it is because it's the fact that you hear it in Mandarin, but sometimes they want that specific catchphrase in that specific language. So they translate it, you know, like this equals this. But literal translation is not, but this equals this. So that's like how I process some of the. So I kept thinking that is Meow the Beauty West, but yeah, Chad is correct. Yeah. Anyway. Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, that's the point that I was making. Okay, so anyway, I think if they do this right, and this would be really cool. I've already shared this with you, MG, but I just want to see what the chat would think. Wouldn't it be like cool if Kiana was like the other half, how the Kiana that we know, right? She's been through all these trials and tribulations, and she's become a great symbol for good. I'm saying this with the quotation marks because in terms of when you're thinking of an overall perspective, good is very subjective. So I think she's a great symbol of good. And then there's the other Kiana, who we know nothing about. We have no information on where she is or what she's doing, but she's definitely out there somewhere, unless she's just died off screen and we just don't fucking know.
Okay, do you think I should stop you there? Because I don't know how much chat is caught up with chapter 26.
I haven't caught up with chapter 26, so what I'm saying is completely pre chapter 26.
Okay, so let's just keep that in mind.
Okay, so is there something in chapter 26 where they mention?
Oh,
geez, you're smiling. Okay,
there is a
I'm
reveal.
I'm gonna stop.
I'm
playing this tonight.
I know.
I'm playing it tonight.
I know you're not afraid of spoilers, so I can tell you off stream when we're done. But
okay.
But you know, we literally just got chapter 26. So chat, so chat's really good. Like this is why we love the Honkai community. Like chat is hinting towards like there is something, but nobody's spoiling. I love you guys. And that's exactly what I'm trying to do too. Like, for anyone who hasn't, like, played to that point, like, just know there is a bit of a mention. And when I say a bit of a mention, I'm downplaying it a lot. So just, you know.
Oh, man. You just completely ruined my weekend. I'm probably gonna... Is it only available in the CN version, or is it available
No. Chapter 26 just dropped with the Mobius patch. So you already have it since, like, 2 days ago.
I'm playing this before the weekend's over. I'm playing this before the weekend's over.
Oh yeah.
Actually, I want to say something because Raytheon's in here too. I gotta give some major props to Raytheon. At first it was somewhat toxic, but we have been whenever I need something in terms of Honkai related stuff, he comes through.
Wow.
So, yeah, like if there's something I forget, he just brings it to my attention. Hey, might have forgotten about this, or hey, this is something that you need to consider when talking about this. Like he's done that on numerous occasions. We had a very toxic altercation with each other recently, but you know, he did what I didn't expect him to do, and he apologized, and then he just kind of informed me why he went that direction. He's a really dope person.
Cool.
So I wanna thank you for keeping me in the loop on terms of stuff throughout this entire journey. That's corny. Yeah.
And with that wholesome moment, we return to the... No, that was good. That was good. Yeah. I mean, I understand that because, like, sometimes I myself have issues with that. Of like, I feel like I don't like it when people quote unquote backseat. And it kind of makes it awkward when someone in chat actually says something like useful, but you're already on this like train of like, no, stop backseating. You know what I mean? And it's not it's not like it's not warranted. You know, like when I get like when I feel it's toxic that people are actually backseating, it usually is like because they actually are. And it kind of makes it hard when something useful actually comes by because you want to make use of it, but you also have already established that wall. And then like when you start making use of it, people will be like, "Didn't you say I'm backseating or like I'm toxic?" So it's really hard to draw the line. So I can kind of really understand that. But you know,
for me it was kind of different though because it isn't so much backseating that bothers me because I just in my channel. I'm kind of a little bit more ruthless with this. I just your HP, bro.
Yeah.
HP, bro.
She has a shield, so.
Okay.
Yeah. There's a new mechanic from version 5.1. Like below the HP, in between the HP and the SP, there's like this bar that you can see is filling up. That's your shield.
Okay.
So that's effectively your HP. So this is how she plays in this mode. So, yeah. Keep clicking until the boss dies. Oh my god.
But yeah, like, for me, it's not even that. I'm a bit more ruthless when it comes to that. When it's just an outright spoiler to something that could actually ruin the experience for me, I just ban people. Like, it's just get out of my chat.
That is warranted because, like, it's... Oh, no. That now that you mention it, back when I still streamed a lot more Genshin on YouTube, there was we were playing this event, and I was like, "Chat, you guys know, right? Just don't spoil." Back then, I don't think I got a lot of backseat because I think everyone was still figuring out how to play Genshin, like with the meta and everything. But like, I was just like, "Chat, like story, you know, story-wise, don't spoil, especially not for like anyone else in chat. Like I might not be as affected, but like." Just don't spoil in general. And then there's this someone in chat who kept spamming like I'm gonna spoil, and I banned him. I was like, and he DM'd me. I was like, why'd you ban me? That was so unfair. I'm like, you know. And then he used another handle to come back into chat and say that, and chat just like put him in his place because they're like, if you say you're gonna spoil, what's the next thing you're gonna do? Actually spoil? Do you want to wait? You like. The moment you type a spoiler and people read it, there's no taking that back. Yeah. So it's like, and like chat was totally on board with me banning the person. And I was like, you know what? If you're going to make a scene with this sub account, I'm going to ban it as well. So you better learn what to say. And they're like okay.
For me, I don't care if they come back. I do like, my thing is making it as tedious as possible to come back. But even if you choose to come back, it's work for you. So
that is true.
My channel is always on a timer. So if you make a new account, you literally have to subscribe, and then you have to wait 5 minutes before you can talk.
Oh.
Yeah. So it's about making it tedious for the other person. I don't make it too long because I still want new people to come in and be a part of the conversation.
Yeah.
But even if you manage to pre-plot this and you subscribe, all it takes is one button, I ban you, and then you got to create a whole new account and do this all over again. So it just makes it it's about making it tedious. So I don't I just don't like when people purposely try to ruin an experience for someone else. Whether it's spoilers or people, like for example, people coming in and saying, "Hey, this game's trash," over and over again. Well, why are you here? And you're dismissed, like that kind of thing. I want people that are literally gonna come in, enjoy the vibes, have a good time, and yeah. So I guess what I'm trying to say is, through people that try to ruin the experiences for
Yeah.
other people. It's all about enjoying the game, and I don't know why we get those little,
I mean, I
lack
feel
of
like
a better word at the moment, morons.
I feel like that's just the whole thing about streaming, right? It's about, I mean, and this is something that's really interesting because, I mean, we won't go on for too long because I usually try to keep these like within 2 hours ish, but you know, this might open like a whole new topic. But anyway, I mean, I feel like I'm very privileged now compared to before because like back when I was kind of doing this like all by myself, I never really reached out to like any other content creators. And it really helps a lot when you're talking to other people who like actually do V stuff. Like, you know, like when Island and I were doing the podcast and like you were in chat, but we had this moment of like, oh, when you're editing videos, it's always like, especially when you're recording your voice, it's so like hard to accept that that's the final take because you're always gonna find something wrong with your own voice. You're gonna be like, no, I could have done this line better this way or that way. Oh, I sounded really bad. Let me just redo it, and you're gonna redo it like 1,000 times. And it's just that instant like connection of like, oh, someone else who's done this before. You like, you know, you can talk to people like that. It's very interesting to like look at all these and see and be able to identify like, oh, this person. Recently I've been on that route of like, oh, like this person I know seems to be not realizing that like their chat is like having a bit too much of like a parasocial dependency on them, and it's like it's very interesting to like figure like look at it and point it out. You and I went on to this topic because of how like we're talking about like why these people do what they do in chat of like that example I had about like I'm a spoil this, you know, or like try to get attention. It's because of that, right? It's because like they want to be seen, they want to be like, I'm doing something now. Like there's always like how many people in chat right now, they're paying attention to me now, and that's like I feel like these are the people who like are in that category of like, you know, focus on me, you know. And yeah, it's a very interesting topic to go into. It's just like there's so many things that you experience or notice of like just doing content, and it's hard. Some of these topics are like kind of hard to talk about because I don't think like we're remotely big enough. And sorry to clump you in on that one, but like I don't think
it's true.
We're like right, you know, like remotely big enough to say like my attention is worth that much of like someone who wants to try and come and grab it. But it kind of really, it's just really interesting that people would like go to lengths to like do that, because there are people in chat who would be like, they would type a message and they would expect me to read it, and they would like keep pinging me to be like, MG, read my message, MG, read my message, and MG, read my message. And it's like, but why? You know what I mean?
Like, it's interesting, right? Because as much as we don't like to, I hate using this word. There's no other way to put it. I hate using this word. We're still in the public eye. I hate this word. I'm gonna just use it. To some people, we're famous. To some people, we are. They in their eyes, they see someone who's pulling in what's even 100 viewers. Hell, 70 viewers is a lot of people to a lot of others.
That's true.
And they see that and they're like, oh, he's popular, he's famous, I want his attention now.
Yeah.
I want his opinion on this. What does he think of this thing? And of course, we're still in this. We're average people. We're normal people. What the hell? Why are you demanding our attention so bad?
Yeah.
And I guess it's just, and I hate using this word too, but it's just a fact. It just comes down to us being influencers. We literally do, and I think Unreal said this best. I'm quoting him, I hate the fact that I can say and do something, and to some people, we can do no wrong.
You know, that is one of the things that I was very careful of when first, like, quote unquote, building a community. I agree with that totally. I never want, because, like, okay, it makes sense that people who subscribe to you or like join you as membership or like subscribe to you on Twitch, because Twitch subscription is different from YouTube, but like it makes sense that people who do that see you in a different light. You know, sometimes they might put you in a pedestal, and I never really want that because you never get objective insight on like things that you want objective insight on. And you know, I can see how like some like quote unquote influencers who are extremely huge live in that bubble to the point where they lose touch with like reality in it to an extent. But yeah, I don't know where you're going with that, but yeah, I am very wary of that. Like sometimes it's
I'm basically just saying that it gets to a point where because of our influence, people think that it's best to get a rise out of us, or it's best to try to catch us slipping, or when I say that, I mean get disrespectful so they can make a big deal out of it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So there's things that people try to do in order to make your influence irrelevant. That is their take on how this situation should go.
Interesting.
Yeah. So I try my best to I pride myself on positivity, but there are moments where I just have to literally tell people, hey, screw you, bro. like you're and this isn't me like kind of being big named or anything, because I'm not a big name. This is me literally telling you as a human being that you're acting like a piece of shit.
And then they use it against you, right? And then they're like,
Yeah,
hey, this Cha0tik thinks he's like such a big deal telling me to go, you know, like, and it's like, no, but that's not what it is. No.
I've gotten to a point where me personally, I'm starting not to care about the people that just believe what other people say.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so if someone can come in here and get a rise out of me in that moment, right? I say something back and I'm like, yo, you're a piece of shit, bro. Get out of my chat. Ban him. Out of here.
Ooh.
And then he goes into like, let's say he goes into like the PGR Discord. The Cha0tik's toxic takes this clip and posts it, and people just believe him. I'm like, okay, you're also a part of the group that I don't want in my community, so I don't care.
Hmm.
That's where I'm going with this now. I'm not so much. I'm starting to care less about what people think of me and what and how they spread that message about me.
Mm-hmm.
I guess I've just kind of gotten to that point where I just don't care anymore. Find some dirt that in something I said, cool story, bro. Like that's where I've gotten so far.
Yeah.
I don't know. Influence is a nasty thing at the end of the day, because it just attracts all the wrong people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, that was an interesting topic. I bonk for Cha0tik when people beat that is very much appreciated. Let's see.
A great mod, because he also has a low tolerance for stupidity.
Don't we all?
Yeah. He's literally him and Don are literally the perfect. Like, those are both of my mods. They're literally the perfect mods, because things that they know will trigger me, they're just like, that shit out of here and just get rid of it before I even see it.
Yeah, that's really good. Okay, let me just make sure.
This is all really confusing for me watching you play this. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm sitting here observing, and I'm just like, I don't understand what's going on. Okay, he killed thing, but now he goes to other thing, and I don't know, huh? Like, signets, they make sense. It kind of works like a roguelite. Is this a roguelite? Yeah, this is a roguelite.
In a sense, yeah.
Yeah, so it makes sense to a degree, but then when you start involving the other items and stuff, that's where I'm getting confused.
I mean, the items are just like drop rate for signets, if that makes sense.
Wasn't that one of the moth members that just showed up on your screen?
Yeah.
Okay.
So you can have a chance for them to like come in and assist. Different moth members will do different things. So like Eden, she'll give you more coins. So when you get the shop, I won't be getting any more shop access anymore. But like, that's fine. So when you get to the shop, you can do more upgrades and buy more signets. And then Yai Sakura will pause everything, like all the timer and like pause the enemies for a while and deal ice damage to them while you attack them. So Yai Sakura is pretty cool with that. And then Kevin will encase them in ice, and once the ice breaks, they'll immediately die. So there's all these like different stuff. And yeah.
That's OP.
Yeah, that's pretty OP. So like it just depends on like sometimes it's your luck on like if you get it on like a bonus stage, if you get like Kevin on a bonus stage, you kind of get a free clear on the final boss of the stage, and then you like instantly save that much time, and then you get, you know, a bonus signet, stuff like that. Yep. It's not really like a huge deal in the Elysian realm. It's just like, you know, an RNG thing, and if it happens, it's sweet, but it's not like. I think you can. There is an item that can manipulate the chance of like you getting that kind of like assist from the moss, but I don't know if anyone like uses it normally. This is the way to play.
This is in.
Oh wait! I was too
fact
careless.
that you're just bonking them like this, and they're just taking the damage, and like, cause in literally in PGR, after a certain point, they just get like a shield, and then they just come back and just try to stop you from whatever you're doing. This is like insane that you can just bonk them until they're obliterated.
I mean, this is the lower difficulty, and also, yeah, for one, it's the lower difficulty, and then where was I going with this? And then this is a different game mode, right? Because Elysian Realm is like specifically for you to go crazy with. That was the whole deal of like Threshold Breach before Elysian Realm. So yeah, it makes sense that you can do this. This is what people want, like the extreme version of like what you can do with your character. So I'm all for it.
It's still really, it's cool. It's just like, what? Like, I'm trying to understand like all the mechanics I'm seeing. I'm pretty sure there's some things that I'm just missing, but it's just freaking really cool. I would be trapped in a rabbit hole doing something like this, which is probably good that I don't like start, because if I do start, it's just gonna be another Arknight situation. I'm just gonna continuously want to play it, and I don't have time.
That's also like, I think we're close. Whoa, I think we're close to ending off, but like for one, it's also like it kind of made me spend a lot more time here than on Genshin. And you would think like a lot of people would spend a lot more time in Genshin because of like, oh, the gameplay is different, it's open world, you know, stuff like that. But it's like Honkai just has like so much content recently, and part of it is actually because of the Elysian Realm. So yeah, really cool. Also,
knock him out of his berserker form? That is insane.
Yeah, violently trying to destroy this robot.
Okay, you wanna end this before we start a whole new topic?
And we're done.
I can talk to you. I can literally talk to you all day and every day. So
and we're done.
Done.
Why is that? Is that a bot? Buzzy Talk? I think that's a bot. Sorry, chat. Didn't notice that earlier. Let me report.
Wait, what?
Yeah, that's a bot.
What kind of bot is that?
I have no idea. Maybe it's like a news, you know, like a news kind of like.
No. No. That's really weird.
The things that happen nowadays.
That's really weird. Like that's kind of like a sus bot right there.
Oh my god. As a newbie, okay, let's like end off with chat. As a newbie, ranked 35 chapter 5. Ooh, chapter 5, nice chapter. What are your and other experienced players on going for Mobius? Or the suspected HOS banner to make a main S rank? I would say HOS over Mobius in terms of like if you want a dependable, like reliable battlesuit to carry you through the game. HOS would probably carry you through a lot of content. She plays both as like a DPS and a support. She has gather, she's basically all in one. Only, with the exception of like she can't handle stuff like that's not physical, that resists physical or that she has a type of disadvantage, but go for that over Mobius. They're both, in terms of like easy to build, they're both just about as easy to build. So Sentience is definitely the better choice. Okay, what else? No more? Okay. Just wanted to make sure I answered that. Did you enjoy Elysian Realm? Of course. Did you guys see what we just did to Heimdall?
Literally been enjoying Elysian Realm this entire. But how long have we? Oh
yeah.
We started at 9:30.
Yeah.
It's 12. It's 12:30.
Yep. Usually we keep it at like 2 hours, but 2 to 3 hours. I think with Island we almost went to like 3 hours too. So it's a good we're vibing with chat. So that's really cool. But that ritual though, yeah, about that ritual. So when you guys are pulling for stuff, start up a stream and get chat to chant something. L for,
If it's a character, you chant the character's abbreviation. So Harsher of Thunder, HOT. If it's Harsher of the Void, HOV. If it's I don't know.
If it's Miss Pink Elf, you can use should I name this person? Okay, so I'll end off stream with this. There's a streamer who I know whose nickname for Alicia's battlesuit, Miss Pink Elf, is Miss Pink MILF. So maybe your chat can spam that. Maybe your chat can spam that when you're pulling for Elysia stuff.
Let's go. I like this person. Who's this? I like this person.
Yep.
Miss Pink Dicky MILF.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, yeah, but that was fun. I feel like we, as far as like first getting to know each other, like I said, we've spoken like a couple of times before this, but it's still a really good like. I felt like it's really nice to talk to someone who also plays like multiple mobile games and like has that same experience of like, like how you immediately said when you said like, oh, the game that built stuff, and I immediately knew which game it was, and when you said the name, I was like, yes, that is exactly what I was thinking of. So there's that like shared, it's how like the Honkai community is like, we can talk about Honkai stuff and everyone just knows what you're talking about immediately. That's the same, but for just like the mobile gaming scene. So yeah, I really appreciated that.
Dude, this is fun. I knew this was gonna be fun.
Yeah, I don't know if we're necessarily gonna do a stream next week though for podcast. So the plan was to do something chapter 26 related, but then I don't think I want to take you guys' time, especially with Star Rail coming out, and then I also can't really be a part of like a Star Rail podcast because I'm not part of the beta. So I'm just gonna not do any podcast stream for the next week.
Let's just take a break. You do this you've been doing you've been making some dope content lately. So just take a break, bro.
I thank you.
Take a freaking break.
I think I'm gonna take the time. Maybe I'm just gonna take the time of not being on Star Rail beta to go and do that rerun of the whole story that I wanted to, because it's been waiting. It's been something I've been wanting to do, and it's been waiting for such a long time. And like when I want to do something pops up, like the next beta or the next overview that I really want to get done, and then like I just tunnel and do it. So yeah, maybe that's my next focus. It will be fun.
Are you going to do this off of the Steam version so you get like a straight up fresh account when you're playing? Because I mean, like, you don't want any character influence at all when you're redoing it.
No, it's
Right?
just more
Like a
so
fresh
like
experience.
okay, so like how Honkai has done like the story because of how they have like the manga and the visual novels and like the game. I want to like put it in a comprehensive like easy to watch, but includes all from manga, game, and visual novel into like and like make chapters that way so that it's like it's more for my own benefit because like you when people pull up like hey FG what do you think about like Cha0tik Bloodwine, I was like interesting that you would ask, and then I have to like my brain has to pull from all like the things that I have in my brain that are not like because also like I've been playing Honkai for like 4 years, so it's hard to like pull that memory. And then like when I talk to UD, he's like, and like there was this conversation with UD and Fen, like it wasn't on stream, but like I pulled up this point and they're like, and they were on the same wavelength, but I wasn't. Of like Fen was like, oh yeah, wasn't that like retcon to not exist? And then UD was immediately like, yeah, that was one of the, and I was like, what? That was retcon to not exist? Like where have I been? And then like the two of them are like immediately they already know. I'm like, interesting. So it would be a really good refresher for me. And it would just be like it's something that I've been wanting to do for a while, but like I kind of been afraid of like not being well equipped to do it. But with Island being newer to the story, so it's like all these earlier parts are fresh in his mind. With Kadwa and UD being so focused on like manga and visual novel stuff, and like I feel like now is the right time to be like, if I need help, if I need to clarify, I can just immediately like drop them a DM like, hey, what do you think about this part if I portray it this way? Is it like, because this, like the moment you have a video out, the worst thing is that people start picking it apart and you're actually wrong. And you're like, damn, I wish I could have done better on that. Like, what do I do now? Do I take down the video or like, So I'm glad, like, knowing all of you guys, it's like better to have someone to like, before I even publish, it's like, okay, can you like look through this for me for a bit? Like, if it's good, then we'll like. So that's really that's like I think that's gonna be my next project.
He was trying to say he appreciates us without saying it. I felt that in my heart. I felt that one in my heart.
Yeah, but it is a really good feeling to be like, now we know people, like, I don't know, it's nice to have your own community and chat as well, but it's also nice to have like people who also like post videos and get roasted for the videos for no reason, and we can share their experience. You know what I mean?
Hey,
yeah,
that was a fun time.
Mm-hmm.
Gonna cry? Yeah, I'm gonna wait until the stream ends, and I'm just gonna go cry in the corner. I'm just be like, yo, he actually acknowledges me. I appreciate this.
Yeah. So now we have the page cover on. Wait. Before we have that, anything you want to shout out? I don't know if I always do this, but like,
subscribe to my channel.
Subscribe to Cha0tik. The link in the description.
Cha0tik.
Link is in the description.
K-I-K.
Don't even have to type it. Just click on the description and tap on it. Go
Link in
subscribe.
description.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Cha0tik covers. He streams a lot. Honestly, like I would log into YouTube and it's like Cha0tik streaming. Okay, what's he streaming now? It's not always Honkai. It's not always PGR. It's like just a lot of stuff. So it's very informative. Especially if you're the kind of like, hey, introduce me to like a new mobile game. Cha0tik's your guy,
You're just looking for some cool mobile games to play, or you just want to see what's coming in the future as far as the global market comes. I literally show off hundreds of mobile games. So if you want to come and just vibe, my channel is for you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, yeah, you guys know where to go if you need more mobile games to play. And with that, it's MG and Cha0tik signing out. Bye-bye.